been a while since we've started a little bit earlier. That's going excellent. Boom. What is good, ladies and gentlemen? It's been a while since we've started a little bit earlier. Now you might be saying, Grin, why? Why would you do that? Well, because our whole stream crashed last time. Fingers crossed that doesn't happen today. But when it crashed, I loaded up my whole computer again. And it said, hey, do you want to use the cloud storage or do you want to use your normal storage, your system storage? And I thought, oh, my game crashed. There's a higher probability that the system storage shit the bed, right? No. But so, yeah, I fucked up, basically. In fact, maybe... Did it just get... Huh. No, let me see. What's my chaos? Yeah, no, it didn't. So anyways, I lost all of yesterday. So yesterday we grinded up all the way up to 24 or 5. 4, I think. 24 chaos level. All gone. I got some cool cosmetics. All gone. Feels bad. Don't do that. Do not download through the cloud ever, apparently. It's significantly behind. Even if you've alt-tabbed out. Anywho, let's just run it. We're just gonna... Man on a mission right now. We're just grinding. Ugh. Also, yeah, this was the formula that I was using just to fucking run. Get past everything really quick. Nub says, it doesn't update often enough for me. Wait, no, before that, Nub says, that's why I always turn off clouds. Yes, that feels like that's probably the best idea. Although, granted, I feel like it's not... Maybe to turn off is a little excessive, because maybe you might need it. Might is the key word there, but who knows. Sorry, what's good, Lois? What's good, Plexi? What's good, Nub? Hopefully you guys have a lovely day thus far. Yes. I spent a predominant amount of my day just editing, and I feel real sick. Woke up feeling like death, and oh yeah, also all that. There we go. But yes, how is your day going, guys? That's the big pooba. It's nothing for me. It's just same old, you know. Lone Singer says, how are you today? Are you feeling bad? No, I still feel like shit. I felt really bad yesterday, though, man. As soon as I ended the stream, I just felt like horrible, like super death. It was very bad, and I was like, oh god, am I getting... And also, it's that feeling of like it's sometimes, you know, when you bottom out when you're trying to breathe, like when you're like almost like you can't take a full breath, you're like, and then you reach like this like pivotal point where your body no longer sucking air, and you're like, oh shit. Same thing with like your chest feels almost like it's kind of phantom cold. Also, damn it. Yeah, man. Anything dot wise, they need to really like reallocate the down stuff. Like they're like, oh look, this medium tier negative thing is actually the worst. Anything that's status is a nightmare, you know. Also, ladies and gentlemen, you have to forgive me. It'll probably be a hot minute. A little bit, not too long, but a little bit longer than we've experienced already when it comes to build making. Also, can we not do that? Thank you. Because I have to do a lot of busy work in the next couple days. 2 days are basically, I would normally start doing the whole, like, you know, process of building a build, but we don't have access to that yet. So yeah, be patient with me. Yes. And also we had a setback because all of our progress yesterday was deleted because of things. It's honestly because of me. I mean, I did stupid things. I should have known better than to upload through cloud storage. Also, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video coming out today after the stream. It's going to be a video about the new Saints Row game, man. Oof, that... Oh, also, I think, if you guys didn't see it, the last time we streamed, this is the clip where it crashed. It's like 5 minutes or something, super tiny. It's kind of like, I kind of hated logging back on just to be like, I'm sad, goodbye. It felt pointless, but anyways, what was I going to say? Oh, well, we talked about this thing yesterday, and I wanted to kind of bring this up ahead of time to see what you guys think. We've hit a crossroads immediately, and I knew it was going to happen. I thought we would have a little bit of a grace period before that. And what I mean by that is we currently have 3 channels in total. GRINN, Brothers GRINN, and then, of course, Share Your GRINN. Cringe, I know, but it is what it is. The Brothers GRINN is basically a gaming channel that is strictly going to be for like first-person shooter, looter shooter kind of games. Something that would be akin to a Borderlands / a looter shooter genre kind of game, just so you guys can have a better accuracy in what you might like. Also, I love when that happens, when for some reason somehow you get dropped as soon as everybody else dies and the game doesn't just auto pick you up, even, you know, you don't lose a life when you do this. Anyways, Be a little spicy today. A little bit like. But the problem I thought what would happen has, which is essentially like, okay, well shit, there's a game that came out trailer-wise called Saints Row. We've been covering that on this channel specifically for a good time now, and I wanted to continue that because I'm really excited for the game, and the more I see of it, the more I'm like, I want to cover this. But that doesn't really fit into the new channel, and yeah, also there's a new Deathverse kind of dev diary, which I know people probably want to get a quick TLDR about, so I want to make a video about that as well. So you guys can see that we've already arrived at that weird gray area of like, wait. The whole point of making the new channels was to give people a way to filter the things that they may not be inclined to watch already. That way, if you subscribe to a channel, you have like reassurance that you're gonna have a decently high rate of success when it comes to getting the things that you want and etc. But, and this is a big but, with those don't really fit. Like, I don't know if the Saints Row people who like looter shooters and typically FPS kind of games would entirely be in love with the idea of Saints Row, which is more of an RPG open world game. So then, I think what we're gonna do, just to spoil it, although I do value you guys' opinion and want to hear what you guys think about all this. Also, come on, thank you. I do think we're just gonna turn. I said this passively, and I'm happy that I said it because I didn't mean it like this, but it's what it's gonna turn into. But Grinn's just gonna be a kind of a what do you call it? Raja last stream pointed it out perfectly. Which Grin is just gonna be a smorgasbord of guaranteed. It's gonna be a streaming channel. But if we want to cover other things, it's just gonna go there. Also, it makes sense because it's really hard to grow a channel purely on streaming. So if we could get something that could kind of get people in the door and maybe have a reason to check out the streams, that might not be entirely bad, you know? Does that make sense? Oh, that makes sense. This. Plaxy says only pull from cloud to reinstall. That sounds like a good idea. Yeah, sounds like the best case scenario. Good rule of thumb, Plaxy. Lone Syndicate says, how are you? Oh, I'm feeling better. I'm not feeling that bad. I don't know. It goes in waves, Lone Syndicate. It usually, like, it gets really bad, and then when I sleep, it gets better, but then it's, like, I can't kick it. You know what I mean? It's like a damn sickness nonsense where it just like, hangs over you like some sort of dark shadow bullshit. Not a good. Not a good. What's good, Z-Nation? Z-Nation says, hey, just bought the Tiny Tina because of your Deadshot video. Looking forward to... Oh, really? Which one? Which Deadshot video was that? which one's that? I'm curious. Which build was it? Was it Torrent or was it the original Summoner build or like thing? Because the more I think about it, man, the more I feel like, yeah, to me, the only thing that you get from my first build that we made, is essentially the ability for you to like summon hydras, you know. Whereas like if they ever do release like a goblin as a spell, I'll take it. I'll absolutely make a build about that. But oh fuck, I also downed myself. Go pixies, eat. Thank you. I feel like I should make a dash to the other place. Nice we do that. Let me hit people over there. Yeah, nice. All right, good. What's good, Max? Max says, yo, what's up, Grin? Nothing too much, Max. How are you doing, buddy? How are you doing? But man, I thought we were in it. Like, maybe it's just COVID that like got us, I should say me, got me kind of like, how do I put it? Hopeless a little bit about video games, where I was like, oh, I see 2 games that I think are interesting. I'm gonna be playing these for the next year and a half. You know, like better really like them, or better find a way to like them. But no, like we had Wonderlands, we had what was the other game that came out before Wonderlands? I also enjoyed a lot. What is it called? Not Dead Island 2, Dying Light 2. Dying Light 2 is fantastic. We had a bunch of good games in that regard. So yeah, and also we have the Saints Row game coming out this year. We have that Harry Potter game coming out this year. It's like I'm like, holy shit, there's actually a lot happening still, like for this year, unless things get delayed, which they might. But yeah. Oh, my thing's on cooldown. Oh. Excellent. Run. Ryan says, finally caught you live. I love the channel. Just found you for the Wonderlands series and wish I found you too. Thank you so much, Ryan. It's so nice. I appreciate that immensely, man. I'll try to live up to that. Right now, we just grinded, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Nub says, oh wait, let me catch up because yeah, I did ask you. I want to see what you guys think about this thing we just talked about. Lone Singing says, my day went great. Work went by kind of fast. Came home, watched A Day to Live season 4, episode 3, and I think things got crazy in the episode. Also rewatched rewatched it as well as you're on episode season 2, episode 8. You rewatched what? What did you rewatch? What was that? I know you said you were rewatching an anime, but I forget what it was. Blacksy says, I got you covered. We'll be uploading the Shadow Dancer, and it's C35 right. Ooh, nice. Golly, man. What does that mean, Blacksy? Does that mean you already have the one type of gear? Because I don't know, man. Yeah, like I feel like. Does anybody know what the drops become when you eventually do get to 35? Is it like generous, like volatile gear kind of becomes like chaotic gear, or is it still like, no, chaotic gear is still like the predominant stay, and then volatile kind of a little bit more likely, but it's still rarer than. I hate it so much. Man, is that annoying all the time. It always, like, there's some fucking, I don't know if it's like you step in a puddle or I shoot the ground and it just kills me. Like, I know it's a meme that's spicy puddles, but at the same time, I think I just get downed instantly. Granted, I don't have the most health, I guess, or like HP and shield, but still. Like, I can have an enemy punching me in the face 6 times and I don't get downed. But if I touch a puddle that has an element in it, just get bricked immediately. Let me see. Ooh, we got a new headpiece. We got the old sword. Is this a new spell? No, it's a cube spell. Feels bad. All right. 1 down. 30 some odd to go. Oh. Z Nation says the one you uploaded a couple days ago with the spell. Yeah, no, that one to me, that one I'm happy with. I'm happy with that one quite a bit. This is the one that we're currently rocking. Yeah, to me, again, I just find it fun to use magic, you know. And you also can it's a kind of a, you can have your cake and eat it too. You could be a spellcaster. You also can cast some awesome hydras and be like the summoner if you want. You can also whip around. You also have a crazy amount of survivability just because of the nature of the certain things we have in our skill tree. All those things. Also, give me all these. What's this? Same thing, the shark one. Oh, that's weird. Why is it 57 increase to land enemies? Weird. Threads of Fate. Crap, no. Cube, no. Cascade. No. What is this? Oh, it's a twister. Dark magic and poison. I want dark magic and cryo. That'd be perfect. I don't know if you can. I've never seen that once. Granted, it could exist, but the game could just be being rude, you know. None of this. None of this. Oh, it's sticky, but it's not. It's not. What do you call it? Times 2 or a repeating cast. Whew. Max says, I just started trying that spell damage build as well. I'm missing a lot of gear, so I'm not doing great. Max, if you wait till Sunday, our Sunday stream on Twitch is just going to be. We'll probably upload that to this channel as well when we're done, probably Monday or something, whenever we get around to doing it. I'll try to upload it at the night. Granted, everyone's night is kind of different based on where you are, so forgive me if it ends up uploading as soon as you are online. You see a stream, a 2-hour stream. Forgive me, but yeah, we'll be doing that on Sunday stream, the last hour of the stream. So you stream for 2 hours. It'll start at 6 p.m. Mountain Time when we start giving stuff out. So if you appear to that stream, I don't think it should take that long. Granted, I know also ideally it would also be like everyone feeding each other. So if I give one save file to a PS4 person, that PS4 person could share it with other PS4 people. Granted, people may not be inclined to do that, but yeah. Let's go over here and keep going. Chaos Trial. I always like to double check that it's going the right one, because sometimes it feels like it misses. Yeah. Z Nation says, sadly on Xbox though, so we have to wait and see if someone in your Discord or someone does Xbox drops for you. Yeah, well, what do you call it, Z Nation? I should be able to, if you appear to the on the Sunday stream on Twitch, which I'll upload a YouTube video as soon as we go live. And it's the same time as this stream started. We always start at the same time, always. So if you're in there, and again, I kind of have it built as like 1 hour of our Sunday stream, which it's always been a play together stream. So we just find any game that's co-op and we play it together. But the idea is also I'm gonna have my URL on screen at that point, and you guys will just, whilst we're hanging out, people would send me a friend request. I'd accept them all. And sometimes shift is weird, so it might be like next Sunday until I can drop it for you. But I'll try to do that. It's as simple as me just you're loading into my game, me dropping you the stuff, and you guys now have all this crazy gear. Hopefully it'll work out. And again, if you ever have any friends that want to dupe stuff for you, you can do that too. Ideally, that would take some pressure off me from having to do it for everybody, you know? So I'd appreciate that greatly, but a give and take. This is something that is just kind of it's just something for us to do for our Sunday stream, which is already kind of just us shooting the shit and hanging out. It doesn't really matter what we do in the background. Granted, I do like the fact that we play games together. The one that's not this one. Nub says, I can't really comment with full confidence, but if you manage properly, COVID should never affect a game's progress by much. Yeah, no, yeah, maybe. My whole thing was just it could have also been just the fact that, there was just no games were coming out, Like, I feel like all we had was Genshin for a long time. But granted, maybe just because the games I like were just on a weird delay. But I hear a lot of people say that, like, development was hell in COVID. Granted, is that just an out for something underperforming and people wanting to keep their jobs? Maybe. I also think it's probably both, if not more of COVID. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I just like to give people the benefit of the doubt because I have no idea. I've never designed a game before, so I like to think it's quite hard. And yeah, especially considering I think people don't realize how much people are how do I put it? We're all creatures of habit. So even though you might think, oh, well, like, you work at a computer all day, why couldn't you just pick up your computer, go home, work on your computer? I think there's so many weird things that go on with people just having like this hesitation to be like, wait, do we have to use, what was it? It was like Zoom or some whatever weird thing people were getting into, you know what I mean? So I could see that being a huge thing. Yeah, like not everyone's just like can easily like be like adapt to every new situation with eager and vigor. Most people are like, wait, I miss talking to my bestie, my wife, husband, whatever. The fuck. People are weird, But anyways. Also, shit, go. I didn't know it was one of these. Why am I doing this? It doesn't matter. We're just trying to like gun it. What? The most probable delay of like a month. The last thing it says, we don't have to play Genshin every day for stream like we did last year, because last year was rough as far as the games were. Yes. Granted, man, that's also something that's gonna put me back. I still have to grind. I don't even know, man. I was worried to ask you, Lone Syndicate, but I have to grind the Ayato quest. Before I can get access to the event. Is the event like super long-winded, or do you think I should be able to gun it as soon as I'm done doing the quest? Because I've missed 2 Spiral Abyss rotations. Yeah, but also I'm not like upset because I'm just happy playing other games. But at the same time, I'm starting to feel like the not addiction, but the fear of missing out, like being a super big fucking negative thing in my head now. Or like when you're happy, when you only have this to play and it's kind of engaging and it's keeping you kind of content, you don't mind the whole like shitty marketing of fear of missing out. But when you literally have like no time extra to do it, that's when you start being like, fuck you, you fucking rat bastard, But yes, empathy, of course now I have a great deal of it more for people who are like, I don't really like the fact that everything's time indicated. When like, what happens if I just like playing and spending my time in a different way, Oh, also, damn it, ladies and gentlemen, I think after this, remind me. I wanna fuck your guys' whole life up for a minute, just for like 5 minutes, oh, maybe 2 minutes, maybe a minute. Okay, I found this weird like binaural beat thing. I want to show you guys, and I just want to get your guys' sense of it, cause it's, to me, it's freaky. Like it makes me feel like my nose is gonna start bleeding. Maybe you don't want to listen to it after my description, but you know, for the brave psychotic people in the chat, they got me, I'm sure. So please don't eat me alive, Dot. We move so fast when our shield's broken. Also, this is my PSA. As always, the stream is not incredibly delayed, my friends. What it is I just like to read your guys' comments, so I try not to leave anyone's comment behind. So I read the top of the chat and go downwards. So forgive me if it seems like it's super slow or not reactionary. It can be. Like if it wanted, like the newest chat was Juan, who says, "Man, it's cool talking about biome." Really, man? What do you call it? There's this one that's, I don't know, just it throws me for a loop when I read, because I've always heard a lot of them. A lot of them seem like it's kind of like noise. Also, shit, we're about to get killed. But yeah. Plexi says Stabomancer doesn't need an update. It apparently was at was that OP at C20. I hardly tell the difference. Yeah, man, I'm waiting for that to happen. Like I keep waiting for the shoe to drop and like me to get my head kicked in. But granted, like again, I kind of mentioned this. I think it was in the build or something like that. But like our first build, like killed things in 2 seconds anyway. Like when you do 30k. And you hit like multiple times, you're fine. Like that's all you really need. Granted, maybe at Chaos 30, you'll need what essentially is what we're doing now, which is like 100k on a bad day, with just one of our spells essentially. That also hits in a stupid wide AOE, you know. so yeah. Granted, all the gear we have is almost perfect, meaning it's like volatile. Now, granted, now primordial's a thing. I don't know, man. I feel like they've planned it out just right to where you'll be like, fine, because I feel like the next door is gonna release Ascended. Ascended, I think, is the highest point of gear. I didn't mean to go that way. The highest point of gear that we can attain. I think that's where, like, okay, now you're nuzzled into the end game, and that's where they'll probably be like, and here's a new subclass so that you guys can chew on that for a while, and here's one last door, and here's the next roadmap of content, given that there's still a hunger for Wonderlands content within the community, you know? I feel like that's their strat, but could be wrong. Also, I hear people getting... okay, well, I have a video coming out at some point. I'm at a place of having too many videos to upload, and I don't want to spam you guys, so I'm kind of trying to pace myself out here, but... I have a video of us just doing a first impressions of the DLC, and if it's worth the amount of money, which is $15. I think it's $10 a USA though, or US. But I've heard people saying that this is like the worst DLC ever, and I feel like that's a little bit quick. I do think it's silly, like just the sense of, hey, we have this new DLC, these mystical mirrors. As soon as you do one run of it, you're now incentivized to go do chaos runs because you unlocked all of the special things. Does anybody know if there is a special legendary, or maybe even just slightest bit cosmetic, tied to the Wheel of Fortune? Because in what world would you use the Wheel of Fortune besides bunnies? It's insane. Now, if maybe, and this is what I mean by I think people are jumping the gun a little bit, I think if people, if Gearbox was... basically pace it out to where, like, when you unlock Chum tier 3, we're gonna get a bunch of new legendaries, and maybe at that point when you finally, like, it's hard to beat Chum, maybe they're like, hey, you need to go do whatever the hell it is, you need to go kill or no, sorry, at that point he'll drop some unique gear for this activity specific, but there needs to be a reason why you do the activity, because always people will just do people will just go with the path of least resistance, always. That's like human nature, big time. So yeah, I don't know. To me, I'm really hoping that that's the way it plays. Also, come on, don't eat me up. I'm always trying to avoid a dot on the ground. But yeah, I think people who are saying like this is the worst DLC ever, I think well, we haven't seen what it all is yet. And granted, I'm sorry, we used to have like Headhunter packs as main DLC stuff, not good. And now at least, we have a bunch of new legendaries to fuck around with. So I don't know. Maybe I do my best to not be too quick because I feel like that I would appreciate if someone didn't just judge me on a one thing encounter, right? Like, people are more than the sum of their whole. So if someone could judge something as a whole when it is said and done, and not like still meant to slowly trickle out, that's kind of what I'm hoping to do, if that makes any sense. But yeah. What's good, Luke? Luke says, yo, I got to Chaos 35. Yeah, nice, man. Yeah, no, to me, we got setback. My computer crashed, and I uploaded my save game through the cloud, and that set me back a whole day. So all of my cosmetics, all the gear I got to drop is all gone. So it feels bad. Also, all the Chaos levels I grinded were also gone. Otherwise, we probably would be close to being done at this point. But that's awesome, Luke, to hear. Luke, sorry. Max says, oh, nice. I'll try my best to catch the Sunday stream. Perfect. Z Nation says, I follow you on Twitch before that video was even over. Nice. Thanks. Ooh, volatile gear. Watch me unravel. If it was 2 charges, I would take it, but I still probably should. I'll take it. I don't even like the spell. Goddamn volatile. Volatile is just like, hey, I'm special. And I'm like, are you rat? We got this. No, we got a much better version of that. Dazzler, no. I would love a Dazzler with multiple charges. I think Dazzler always comes in electricity. We got the Revive one, we're good. Off we go. Nub says, same, which is why take my statement with a grain of salt. Now I'm curious what that is. Yeah. About the whole development time thing. Alone Zinga says, Grin, yes, you have, oh, sorry, before we start, ladies and gentlemen, ignore me for just a minute and listen, what is it? Listen to this fucking crazy sound, okay? Where is this the one? I think this is the one. Pause it for it. I get copyright claims. Is this the one? Yes, it is. Check out this. This is one of those things where it's like, you know, people say like, listen to this like frequency and your fucking mind will like merge with the earth or some crazy thing. It's usually just like, hey, you'll study better. And you're like, shut up, get away from me. It's hard enough. Get away. I don't need this. Maybe I do, but it didn't work. Anyways, so just pause the stream, skip maybe 5 minutes ahead because it has this like ramp up of the thing, and just listen to this for a minute, okay? Please, for your boy, because it fucks my. It took me such a long time to find one that wasn't just like a bunch of seemingly like, I don't know why this is probably fucked up, but I see a bunch of Middle Eastern people like trying to emulate what something is trying to do and then putting it online, and it's just kind of it's close, but it doesn't actually hit the mark in a weird way. Anywho, listen to this. Check this out. Boom. Check out that video. And then pause the stream, come back in like 2 minutes, probably talking bullshit anyway. Yes. We'll hear what you guys think about it, okay? Okay, that's going good. Perfect. Perfect! By the way, when I said Middle Eastern, I meant like the language barrier. Anyways. Oh, Lone Ticket says, yes, you have Ayato's quest. You have to do Ayato's quest before the event, and maybe Yai Miko's quest. As far as the actual event, there is some main story. That's all it got to have started. Oh my god, I still have to do so much then. I'm not sure if I'm able to do it. This might be the first event where I actually whiff and missed on a lot of the primo gems. Feels bad. What's good, Juan? Juan says, man, it's cool talking about buying our. Oh, see, we already read that also. Lone Ticket says, I literally tried to do it right now. What the event? What's good, Chloe? Chloe says, hey, just hanging out for now. Nice. What's good, Kid King? Or no, Kid. Kid Valhalla? I'm gonna call you Valhalla. Valhalla says, I'm working on my secondary character. But doing everything smarter, getting the right enchantments and spells does so much for yeah, man, it does, absolutely. Also, I don't know why, but they made like the enchantments, I don't know, maybe it's good. I think it's kind of needlessly complicated, but granted, if it was as simple as like if you do poison damage, just get on spell cast, do poison damage, or on activation of action skill, do poison damage, and you'd be good. So maybe there is like, it's good that it is like a puzzle where you have to get like on spellcast elemental damage, on spellcast specific type of damage of an element, on spellcast cast maybe 2 spells, on spellcast just do more damage which can stack infinitely, which I still haven't uploaded that video. Shit. It just annoys me, dude. I don't disagree. It is like, it just, to me, I've always listened to those weird binaural beat things, and I'm like, what is this? Like, what? And I try to get into it, and I'm like, this is weird. And then that was the first one where I was just like, it makes me feel a little like, it's weird. I don't like it. It makes my eardrums feel like I'm gonna start bleeding from my nose or something. Nope says, I concentrate harder when listening to rock music. Really, that's funny, man. Rock music to me, I don't know what it is, like high percussive, aggressive ass rock music makes me sleepy. Like, it makes me go to sleep. I don't know if it's just like such an overload of emotion that your body's just like, just fucking fall apart. Just let go. I don't know. But yeah, or maybe my parents were listening to that when I was in the tummy or something like that. Who knows? Uh-oh, my controller's freaking out. Stop it. There we go. What's good, Dr. Stone? I've yet to watch that lovely anime. I cannot wait. You say, hey, that was a great spell build you released a few days ago. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Hopefully I can make another one, a cool melee one. That's the next big pooba. Also, is this just kill? No, it's the melee thing. That doesn't matter. We're not really going for that anyway. Jump. Ba 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 ba. Lone Syndicate says, what the hell did you just make me listen to? How did you feel? No one has replied with how they feel except for Nub. Nub is like, I just made me annoyed, which is not even really a feeling. I guess it's a feeling. How did it make you guys feel? Did you feel like this was something you've heard before and you're like, whatever? Or was it like, what is this? It feels weird. It feels not, I don't hate it. I don't love it. I feel like I don't want it. You know what I want? I want it away from me is what I want. That's my kind of idea or sense whenever I listen to it. Granted, I started listening to it for a little bit more, and it felt like both my brain started to have seizing up, as well as what is it? Give me this. I don't know what I was saying. Some bullshit. Some bullshit. Give me. No, damn it. I didn't want to pick up the white weapon. Damn it. I don't want anything, friend. Just give me the worst one. Frozen Vengeance is actually the worst. It's like, it's hard. It's the main thing that'll kill you when you're just like hanging out. And it'll just like punch you in the chest. Plexi says, I sleep to all storm, don't judge. What's that? I don't know what that is. Sorry, I probably have heard the music before. I just am bad with names. I'm terrible with names. Like, I will remember a face and a sound for like ever, but not the word. Yeah. Dr. Zone says, that's exciting, can't wait to see it. Yeah, man, I hope I can pull it off. I keep being stupid by saying, this is the build I'm working on. Not because someone will take it. I absolutely encourage that. If anything, we can learn from each other and build off of each other's ideas. But the idea of, how do I put it? What if it sucks ass? And it's like, this is not a good answer. Because I like the idea of, like, builds and videos and like giving the community something is kind of built upon the idea of there's many questions that people have when it comes to engaging with the game. You want to have fun, and you likely want multiple ways of playing that game, i.e. in this case Wonderlands. You also want to have a build that does multiple things, so you need to be able to do some bossing, because you're going to be doing a lot of boss killing. You're going to need to also for it to kill mobs really well. You're also going to need it for it to keep you alive, stuff like that, right? But then there's even more things you can keep stacking on top of that, which gets exponentially fun in my opinion, which is like, okay, well, what if I gave people even more fun ways to play, which was kind of the magic build. It was like, well, what if I made sure you guys had like 6 different ways to kick some ass? Now, granted, what if I pursue the Krieg build that I want to, and it's like, I'm sorry, this ain't it. Because the one thing that I think is going to be hindered on my Krieg build is like a hella big limitation, is I want to use Reaper of Bones because it's so akin to Buzzax Rampage. You literally, the way it works is identical, despite you not wielding a melee weapon. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm hoping it can happen. Who knows? Dr. Stone says Krieg was one of my favorite characters in Borderlands 2. Man, absolutely. I've also wanted to do like I was like, you know what my other favorite character from Borderlands is probably? Well, it's kind of hard because a part of me thinks it's either Mose or Gage. And I thought, man, we could do but both of those builds I kind of already inadvertently made and didn't capitalize on like the Mose or Gage, because a lot of our spell stacks, there's essentially like anarchy stacks, and a lot of our, for Mose, our hexes essentially are TDRs, essentially. So yeah, but Valhalla says, you ever listen to ASMR? It kind of reminds me of the fast ASMR. Ooh, I haven't seen that, man. One of our people in our community, a lovely person named Fluff, I think is a purveyor of ASMR, and I don't know, man. To me, I feel like it's a real fine line before it gets like I hate it. Like there's somewhere it's just like interesting idea, like a person basically reciting a very, very boring story to help you go to sleep. It's like a sensory thing where a person like very soft voice, not whispering, not like it's like slapping their lips together, but just someone communicating a soft idea that kind of relaxes the brain. That's cool. I like that. But then other times, people be sitting there chewing food in your ear, and I'm like, I want to die. It's just a slow, painful death. I can't handle it. My body wants to just snap in half. I want to hurt. I just want to run. I just want to run away. And that's the other side of ASMR. Also, there's an ASMR that's like, well, this is the kind of thing that exists within everything, no? But it's like, whatever anything is, there's always like a bit of perversion that just like dips its toe. God, oh shit, dips its toe into the pond. And tries to cash in a little bit. Give me this, and let's get going. Lone Singing says, it made me feel a generic, like I don't like it or hate it, but I feel just bland. Interesting. To me, I guess it also changes based on what you're looking at it as. Because I wasn't looking at it as like a movie. The idea of it is like binaural beats, supposedly. And this is, I think there's great information that talks about, like, this is literally how the brain works and operates, so that's worth something. But I think the jury's still out on whether you can symptomize the reaction of your brain's frequencies based on listening to a sound of that frequency. I think that's still like, well, maybe a little bit. How much? I don't know. Maybe the studies, maybe you guys know, that are significantly more stacked, and I've only seen the ones that kind of hinder at, like, the ideas of things. But yeah, the idea is that like when you wake up, you have a certain frequency that your brain kind of cues up, an electrical kind of pulse or something. And the same thing we said for when you learn, when you go into meditation states, things like that. This is not like woo-woo, by the way. This is like proven by attaching microbes to the brain for like a whole bunch of days to see what the processes that the brain goes through and etc. But yeah, who knows? Who knows? Nub says, let my bullets find a target regardless of my aim. Alright. That's what we did. Yeah, actually, that's a great way. Yeah, it's another thing that we did with like our Mose. Could have been like, this is my Mose build. It's really just pixies. Oh, it's a metal band. Gotcha. Okay. Ooh. Valhalla says Frozen Vengeance is the worst. It's the worst, dude, right? It kills you after the round is exactly. Also, anything dot-wise is a nightmare. Like they're like, hey, there's like this spectral skull that will slowly like edge towards you, and you're like, okay, shoot, done, or whatever. And then there's the one that's like, it's just a medium, curse. It just kind of like when an enemy dies, it just puts down a pool of acid. Who cares? Come on. And then you put it on and it rips your whole body apart. It consumes you like a virus. Oh, that's the hawk one. No, thank you. Do 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 do. Never says so like super. Oh, I see. Is that what it is? Just like constant. Man, I really like maybe this is contradictive, but I really like heavy metal in terms of like the guitar just going, you know, drums just going crazy, all that stuff. I love that. But I'm just not a fan of when like the people just say, hey, guess what? We're gonna have like a really cool melody or a really good build up, and then they're just like, you know what's really, you know what this needs? This needs me to take my throat, stretch it all the way over here, and then scream at the top of my lung. That to me, I know it's like a subsidiary of like rock, but I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of that. Same thing with like when you're listening to like a nice soft rock song, not too spicy, but just a nice kind of like melody kind of situation, builds up, ramps up, comes back down, kind of cradles a little bit, and then builds up again. Where randomly they'll be like, fuck it, John in the corner, who we feel bad for because we told you to join the band and you're useless at anything, screaming in this microphone. But oftentimes it's not even the case. John has a fucking beautiful magnetic voice, okay? But John just says, fuck it. I feel like a little baby because I have a really soft voice, so in order to compensate, I'm going to scream as hard as I possibly can into a microphone, and my ears are like, why? It was so nice. It was so nice, now it's not. You've taken this from me. And then I feel like that's such a, it's probably gonna get like DMCA claimed, but I bet that's a genre of like video of a person being like, I took all the screaming nightmare parts out of these really otherwise great songs. Yeah. Now granted, that might be a part of the culture of rock, is like, no. This is what we need. This is what we have to have. Also, that's a times 2, but it's only a bass. If it was a chaotic or volatile, I might accept. Oh, it's a Buffmeister, no. I haven't seen a repeating cast in forever. There's one. Ooh, it's chaotic 2. Cloudburst Torrent. There's one that like it like lingers a little bit, which I kind of wanted to mess around with, but I don't know. Jacked Arc. Is that just like you cast a spell straight forward, I guess? Calls down a bit of lightning. I want to try this one, but fuck it. It should be not that hard to equip the one. It's just that it was kind of still nice. I mean, I love repeating cast. I wish there was a way to like. I wish there was a skill that made it so that like repeating cast had an incentive, because there really isn't much of one. Repeating cast makes things like worse, damage-wise. Just because it's like, hey, you can cast this 5 times, but it's like, yeah, but then I have to hold it down for 5 seconds casting it. It sucks. Or the other ones I can just instantly profit, you know? You know? Lone Syndicate says, as far as music that makes me concentrate, normally anything works, but anime openings and heavy metal or rock music. Interesting. Oof. Okay, is it, well, I think I know the answer to this. Is it lame that I think the best song ever composed, ever, is unfortunately an anime song? Is that make me fucked up or like a weeb degen nonsense, hopeless human being? I don't know what it is, man, but I think the best, like, I don't know what it is, but there's like this one song that I think it's impossibly cool in terms of the way it makes you feel. Like it's unparalleled. There's nothing close. And I love music. I listen to like 5 songs. I'm subscribed to like a bunch of channels that upload music. That's my whole morning basically. Just like you wind down, drink some coffee, you listen to some music, you add the ones you like into a playlist, then you're off on your journey, you know. And then you have a playlist filled with like 1 billion songs. And you're like, shit, Jesus Christ. But what do you call it? If you guys want to hear one of the best songs, actually maybe I should give you guys exactly what it is. I might, well, first of all, let me see if you're all judging me, because if you're all judging me, I'm not going to tell you about it, okay? Or show you guys it. And as soon as some of you guys see it, you're going to be like, oh, I know what this is, but like, if you've ever really sat there and listened to it, let it take you to a place. Yeah. Avala says, yeah, the food smack with ASMR is gross. I agree, man, but some people get like a tingle out of it. To me, I just get discomfort. Same thing with people whispering like all up in my shit. I don't like that either. Maybe I just don't like intimacy. It freaks me out. That's it too. I don't know. Like he says, in Borderlands 3, a shotgun called Anarchy is a homage to get. Yeah. No, I seen that too. Yeah. I don't know, man, because I don't know, sometimes like when someone does like an homage to a character, I almost feel like it sometimes, maybe this is a bit prudish, but it almost makes it like, don't you fucking sully her name like that. Don't you give me this cheap imitation of his fucking bullshit. Okay? Even though I know it was really good, it was just like, I don't know, it felt weird. Not that the game was good, again, I just, every time I thought about it, I'm like, I don't know, Gage was like crazy because of, I don't know, and also it's like, Gage was a character. And I feel the same way about Krieg. Like, I've yet to see a character in Borderlands that is as stylized as Gage or Krieg. You know, Maya, yeah, light style, you know, like kind of like an angelic, but kind of futury. Whereas Gage and maybe I just really like punk rock look. Like, I think like the goth, like punk rocker vibe is just rad. Ooh, this is interesting. Mega Breath or dot damage actually is less bad. Mega Breath will kill me. I can do such an abundance of damage. We good. We good, son. We're fine. Valhalla says, what if there was a spell shot enchantment on shields that let you let your spell stacks go up to ×2? That would be pretty mad. That'd be madness. Also, yeah, I like this place. This is one of the new areas from the DLC. I don't know, man, because to me, like, I feel like the grave, like the spell, like that's where I think the, like I find there's a huge deviation between me and other build creators, which is it's perfectly acceptable and fine. But I find that when a problem is excessively solved, I want to move on to other problems to solve those. Whereas I feel like people like love the idea of like literally shooting a boss and melting him in 1 second. And a part of me is like, that's excessive. And two, I feel like you're tempting the ban gods to rip you apart, you know, where I'm like, that's, if the devs see that, they're like, ooh, that's something broken. Whereas if you can like death by 1,000 cuts, 5 pixies circling head, you're constantly using magic, etc., then they're like, okay, you're just stacking all the utility functions of this character. Sure, we'll let that pass, you know. But yeah, the reason why I bring that up is because of all the things I would tweak with the spell shot, it would be like giving him some sort of, I don't know, like fun survivability, fun utility within his spells. Like to me, I think it would be cool if there was like you kept building stacks every single time you get like a spell kill or you cast a spell, and then when you melee, you did this like huge, just like you put your hand out and you just unleashed a bunch of damage in front of you, literally like would obliterate people, just so it kind of has some functionality. And honestly, if you wanted to make some sort of weird build, you could. But it would have to be something like you basically deal damage. How do I put it? Like it couldn't be on kill, because on kill can't be stacked. So to me, that one perk, that ability for you to let you stack up a currency and then expend it with a melee hit, where you just do this wave of this blast, whether it like debuffs people or whether it does whatever. Would be useless if it revolved around stacks, because then it'd just be like a gimmick. I would like stuff like that to actually be built around your character. Like every single time you cast a spell, and guess what counts for that? Repeating cast. Hey, repeating cast now could be a thing. But instead, I don't know if we'll get stuff like that. But Valhalla says also Wonderland is really is about zone state and getting into an almost meditation level focus. Yeah, maybe a little bit. I can see that. And also, I think it depends. Like, I think my build is a little like, again, the whole idea was summoner, because I even in this build I wasn't able to let that go, because it's such an underused thing in games. The idea of being the summoner, you know. And I was so happy that itch could be scratched in one of my favorite game series of all time, which is like, you know, Gearbox's Crazy, essentially. Valhalla says, I started listening to like death metal now. I love the crazy screams. Like, yeah, maybe it's something that grows on you. To me, I guess I don't know. I feel like, how do I put it? I feel like things can work, but to me, I guess that's the whole, it's like the polarity is what I don't like. So if the song starts up heavy, crazy, and then you start screaming, like then like maybe it kind of melds into the heavy percussion of the drums or the crazy riff on the guitar, whatever it could be. So it kind of like works intrinsically together. To me, it feels weird when there's like a nice soft like melody kicking in with some like really nice guitar, popping off, etc. But then you just hear this random kid fucking lose his shit and start screaming. It's like, to me, it's that polarity that makes it uncomfortable, you know. And granted, maybe that's the whole point of the art of their music, is to like say, no, we want to pull you into a soft cradle and then fucking scream at you with all of our angst and anger and emotions, you know? Which I don't say that, I say that halfingly, like a little bit jokingly, but I also like, I love that. I love that shit. I love like angst, essentially, like Linkin Park nonsense. I love it. So I say that as a reality of the weirdness that I think a lot of people have within themselves. Can we climb up this? Oh, we can. Look at that. Luke says, after Chaos level 35, I just destroy all DLCs. Yeah, man. Well, what do you call it? Do you, how do I put it? Do you have all of the things? Like, do you have, how do I put it in a proper way? Do you have all your gear primordial, as I'm saying, or even like volatile? Because I'm curious if that plays a huge part in it. Because that was kind of the idea of the system. It seems like, well, like, you know, eventually chaotic will become volatile, and volatile will become primordial, and then volatile will basically take chaotic's kind of normalcy place, and it'll progress like that. But I'm curious if that's required, because like at a certain point, if you have all your enchantments in the right line of things. And like, if you think about it, you're not getting a crazy amount of stuff on top of what you already have. So like, if you already have a gun that does like 500 damage, and it shoots twice, then having a gun that does, 800 damage, you're dealing the same kind of damage output, given it's not times 2, so it's a little bit less, but still pretty damn close, you know? So who knows? But granted, if you did have a times 2 of the exact copy with volatile, yes, it would be better, but if you're already killing things, yeah, I don't think primordial is anything more than a 30 to 35% damage increase, which is volatile is only 25, or maybe that's backwards. I don't know. I know. Like there's like chaotic is 25 better than normal. Volatile is 35 better than normal, and then maybe that's where it is. Maybe primordial is 45. But if you already have volatile, it's not that much of a jump, you know. Maybe it's 50 though. If it's 50, then okay, yeah, it's a pretty big jump. Specifically, if you can get a class mod, your class mod and having the right like scaling, because, well, I guess it depends on the class mod too. I think spell shot just inherently benefits a great deal from certain things. Like the more spell shot stacks, kind of build stacks you have, or points, will mean you have more potency within your spell stacks, which you can gain 11 of. So, yeah. Losing it says, hell no, it's not lame. I'm not sure if I say it's cool. I'm not at that point yet. I can't say that to myself without feeling like I'm like like the neutralizer in my head is like, hey, all right, let's calm down, okay? But yeah. And Nub says, due to being a degen myself, I find the requirement to be considered a degen is higher in my eyes. Okay. Interesting. What is the requirement then, Nub? What is the requirement? Because I want to see where I need to avoid or work up to. Give me this. I'm ready to take on the boss. Don't bunch yourself together with me. And I was like, get on my fucking level, trash. Like, all right, well, now I feel like I need to get there. Okay. Granted, Nub is the person that I do think partakes in dating sim / visual novels. Sorry, visual novels, something akin to it. Okay, I know Nub's gonna fire back at me and be like, actually, and I'm like, calm down. I'm not sure, but that is work. You know, I've seen people like do quickie playthroughs of it just to see what it's all about. Like there was one that was like an Eldritch God horror dating sim, which looks so fun to play on stream because it's just insanity. But that's a lot of reading, man. You need to be focused and like dedicated and like lost in it in order to sit there for such a long time and read. That's not me judging. I wish I had that level of perseverance, there we go, that's the word, to sit there and grind through these novels and stories. Loot or otherwise. Ooh. Let's go kill the easiest boss in the game. Ooh. Granted, it does take a little bit of time to get into the world space, so you know, a little weird. Excuse me. Oh, I thought I had one more cast of my ability. Well, it doesn't matter, he died, because pixies are pixies. Wah! And done. Go, go. Juan says anime openings and endings really have a lot of good songs. Well, that's to me, that's the thing. My favorite, like my favorite song I think of all time is this song, but it doesn't have the classic like anime like, you know, like you can't understand the words. It's not even about, it's like the instrumental, the pickup, the fucking roar, the like the feeling, like the like tiny bit of synth in there towards the end that just kind of makes everything rock out, or like kind of destabilize you from thinking you're listening to something that is otherwise, you know. I'm not trying to tell you guys, I'm trying to tell you guys. Give me all the moon ore. Why didn't they start giving you money when you've reached the cap on moon ore? What is that? You know? Bullshit. Ooh, volatile. Repeating cast. Knocks back enemies it hits. An eruption skill. Comes back very fast. Actually, that's probably shit, but I'll take it. Spell shot without no. Luke says almost all volatile. Just one. Just cast one kill. Chaotic. Is it? Oh, Jesus Christ! All volatile? God, what is your build again, Luke? Can you remind me what it is? Is it a caster? Also, I haven't checked out our save file community thing. I haven't been able to. Maybe some of you guys were like, I got this, and I'm like, I want it. I'm gonna leech that off your build. Thank you, friend. Valhalla says, I thought they were each basically 2 levels worth of growth. Okay. Huh. I guess that makes some sense. Across the board, I mean. Lone Syndicate says, Grin, what's the anime? Don't leave me hanging. I mean, maybe if you could stay to the end of the stream, I might might feel courageous enough to tell you guys what it is. Ooh. Cryo and fire. I don't think it can. I don't think you can get cryo in the other thing, in poison, or cryo in dark magic, or vice versa. Also, ooh, 2 charges. Not bad. 2 charges. Leaves a splatter cast. No. Eruption. No. I wish they made like. I wish you could literally toggle what color you want volatile or chaotic gear to appear as, because, like, to me this doesn't help. Like, is that twinkling? Do I have to literally look at the twinkle of everything in here? Jesus. Ooh. Knuckle Sunder. Spell damage increase, spell critical damage increase. Also, the cooldown is quite high. Don't think it's anything near Buffmeister, but still neat. Like, I think Buffmeister gives you 90 or something. But neat. I want to take it, but I will not. Hand Laser, who has got time for that? Chaotic Barat, no. Actually, maybe. 2 charges. More projectiles. Comes back fast. What is this? Bursting magic barrage. Projectiles will impact rocket towards nearby enemies. That's... Maybe I'll take it. I regret it. I don't need it. What are we doing? Nope. 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 Alright, fuck it. Fuck it. I stopped looking. I stopped paying attention. I just said nope. For 2 of those, I just said nope. Without knowing. What's good, Steve? Steve says, "Hey, Grill, what's up? What's up, Steve? How are you?" Nub says, there is one line, cause when you reach the point, you'll know it. Alright. Luke says, for some reason, in Portuguese, some enemies have the name missing name. I don't know why. Weird. Now, Nub says, I actually haven't played NV in a while. Oh, really? Because when my driver died, my translation program got nuked. Weird. You actually played it like that? Jeez Louise. That's maybe what you mean. That's the level that you need to reach. You have a translation algorithm going on in the background. Now Luke says that soon I'll find Missy No. What's that? I don't know what that is. Sounds like some sussy shit. I don't know. Over here. Who the stuff this? Losigan says, I want to get into a visual novel because I figure it could help improve my art. Or, at the very least, I could get some entertainment out of it. I feel like Nub is probably a good person to ask, even though he just his past experience alone. But secondly, I feel like it would be more akin to helping with reading, no? Yeah, reading and maybe memorization of specific characters. Although, I will say, that was one misconception that I was under for a while. I thought dating sims in light novels were like synonymous, but no. They're very different. Light novels is literally just a book. A book with 2 images. Yeah, like with more steps. Spectre Vengeance or Buff Buddies. Ooh, we'll go with Spectre Vengeance. Buff Buddies sucks, but sometimes my pixies can't lock onto it. Granted, our spells can take care of it, but I can't be fucking bothered. Too busy reading chat. Reading your guys' lovely words. Alright? Stop it. Stop it. Luke says, I'm a frost mage. Ooh, and you got a lot of volatile gear, Luke. God damn. Hopefully upload that to the server at some point so people can see the gear. Although I understand if some people don't want to do that, it's totally fine. But for me, I'm like, oh. Because it's really hard finding like the right spells. It's also, I don't know, man, like when we're streaming, I don't really have time to like look at the spell, take it out, see what it does. It's shit. Okay, drop it and then move on. It takes enough time to where I'm like, I'll do it after. And then I really have to like do twice the work in a way. Because I want to keep our streams having pace, essentially. But yeah, that's why I like it also when people are like, hey, actually, these are the spells I've tested, and they're actually great. You know, I'm like, oh, thank God. At least I know what to look for now that has some bites that's worth investing in, you know? Give me this. That one, sure. Nub says, well, streaming is getting a whole bunch of them, so Steam is getting a bunch of them, so it's easier to get them legally now. Ooh, you would take some things from other places? That's okay. It is what it is. Let's jump over here. Give it to me. Is there any more? There's one more. And drop down here. I wanted, okay, I'll save it. I'll save it for tomorrow's stream on Twitch. We're just hanging out, talking. Heartburn. But yeah, I heard some cool sciencey things I want to talk to you guys about, but I'll wait till tomorrow. Also, playing a video game and talking is not something I'm probably gonna be able to do due diligence to the weird idea that I was introduced to yesterday, which I thought was actually really interesting. But I'll have to save it for tomorrow. Ooh, Luke says it's Spell Shine and Grape. Ooh, that one as well. Awesome. Well, I don't know. To me, I wonder, because I know some people are really against using pixies because of just the, I don't really know why, honestly, but maybe it's because the autopilot nature of it, like where they like to be engaged by using a certain weapon, etc. Which I'm all game for too. I just want, like, if they ever released another weapon that's scaled off of magic, we're cooking, baby, but that's yet to be introduced, you know? Besides, there's one other weapon that does, but it's only the meteorites, and the meteorites rarely hit, and sometimes they whiff. And they don't have very good AoE, so oftentimes they whiff. But anyways, but yeah. Nub says, due to Steam guidelines, they are mostly safe for work with SNF patches. I thought recently Steam uncapped everything, where you could literally get some like hardcore crazy shit in there, given it's not like to a certain degree of insanity. Like again, there was like a school shooter fucking game that they uploaded at one point. And there was also other yucky things that are more akin to visual novel fuckery / sexual degen nonsense. So yes, I don't mean to judge people. It just like sometimes it's like, okay, maybe we should talk to people. Maybe we should talk to people about this proclivity or interest. Okay, at what point did it become a flag? Okay, but yeah. Let me grab all this. More buffs. The class is Fate Stay Night. Oh, the classic is Fate Stay Night. Oh, you mean the visual novel? Okay. It has its mobile version and will you can get it on get it on your phone. Okay, cool. That's nice. No, it says background. Nah, the translations, the game is in real time overlaying the text. Yes, that's wild to me. It seems it's nuts. It's crazy. Also, Steve says, kick off Friday night, Chief. Gotta try out the new patch. By the way, that Icy Blood Torrent save you dropped was baller. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Yeah, no problem, man. I hope, now I'm worried about it. I've got so many people coming in here and being like, that's a really cool build, man. I'm like, thank you. I kind of fucking screwed myself to make it by, like, you know, giving like 5 builds out in one, but, you know, anyway. So yeah, and I'm also worried that it's like, guys, you know, maybe the next build may not be as you know, yeah. let's calm down a little bit. But I'm happy you guys are enjoying it so much. Hopefully I can do it again. Hopefully, capture that value once more. Leonard says, also, what's good, Leonard? Leonard says, hey, just dropped by real quick to give a big thanks for the build save. I was searching for those for some of these spells and gun rolls since forever, and frost spell, a spell shot, a one shot, pretty much anything. Nice, man. Yeah, a lot of people, the frost is so good. You guys think they're gonna retweak things? I think, honestly, yeah, I feel like it's not just frost though. I hope I'm not gonna eat my words, but I feel like if you do the same build, because again, people are in a state of like absolute abundance damage. Like, you don't need to be dropping 1000k damage per pluck, essentially. Like, you don't need that. So I don't know. To me, I think like people are saying like, oh my god, like, you know, cryo is so good, and cryo is good because of utility and like cool factor. Like, shattering something apart is just way cooler than something melting with poison or fire. But I will say, I think you're still possible to have like a really cool fire build. I just don't think people have been doing it because it's not like the most optimal. But I hope that doesn't mean Gearbox will like course correct really hard and be like, yeah, cryo was too spicy, we're turning that down. They haven't done anything yet, but I hope not. Valhalla says, what are the best spells? Kind of a toss-up. Buffmeister is just really good for enabling every other spell, but for me, I think Meteorites, well, I think it's funny you say that, Valhalla, because I think there is definitely like a formula for every spell's absolute success. So for instance, one of the spells that I never even looked at for 2 seconds because it was just not worth it in my eyes was, is this it? No. Where is it? This. It's the Meteorite spells. They just cost way too much to cast, like in terms of cooldown, so you're basically sitting without a spell for such a long time. And their damage was good, but it didn't beat the cooldown. Like, it was super skewed to where something would be off cooldown for like 30 seconds, and then a spell that did half the damage would be back in like 10 seconds. And you're like, I could just spam this 3 times in the time that this would come, just to make it sense. But then Lone Syndicate gave me 2 of his little fucking he was hunting for these things because it was his favorite spell. So he found these, which essentially is a ×2 meteorite that also has 2 charges, and there's a special prefix that you can get on the meteorite spells that just that destroy the damage but also destroy the cooldown. So it ends up having a 9-second cooldown. So you're able just to start summoning these huge AoE things that just devastate everything in its path. And we have one that's cryo and blood, which is just perfect. So yeah, but granted, there's also stuff like the ice spike, where you can have like 5 charges on this ice spike, and also it teleports on top of an enemy, so it's just good for impact damage, all those things. And then there's this spell for like, same thing was with Earthquake. Earthquake was kind of shitty because it had such a long cooldown and all this weird stuff attached to it. But then you can get one like this, which is like so heavily scaled because it does so much AoE damage. And if you're just buffing synthetically your damage output with like dark magic and all that stuff, then its small damage is way worth it because it's basically has such crazy AoE, which splinters off in like every direction. So I think, like, there's no such thing as the best spell. It seems like every genre of spell has a version of it, specifically a purple version, unfortunately, that scales up all of its weaknesses and kind of counter-corrects it in a perfect kind of way, which to me is kind of awesome and sick. Let's do this. Let's do this. That's gonna die. I'm gonna save my earthquake for you when you're... Actually, that's probably bad, because sometimes he won't stay here. Sometimes he'll go up there. There we go. This. Boom. This. That didn't hit. God damn it. But yeah. How do you guys feel about the... I seen a thumbnail recently that basically was saying, how do you guys feel about slag being back in the Borderlands franchise? Because there is a new class mod that I don't have. I don't have it because my save got deleted. But basically, it lets any critical hit apply the wet status, and the wet status increases your damage output with elements by 150%. It's probably multiplicative, so it's not as much as you might hear, but it only applies to lightning, cryo, and fire, but less with fire. I don't know if I really dislike it because everything's melting. If they start scaling the game based on slag, that's the problem. That's the thing that fucked up everything. But if they're just like, hey, if you want to use this class mod for specifically for like cryo spells, or for like cryo builds or like elemental builds, here you go, you know. Lone Singlet says, there are 2 that I want to check out, Grin. Most things can help improve your art, even if it sparks the idea. That's true. Get inspiration, at least for me. That's why I want to try one. But yeah, it's true. You always want inspiration. But if there was anything that I could have told my previous self who was pursuing the art form of like creating content and editing videos and all that stuff, it would be one of the biggest things that you can do to yourself is waste effort on a bad solution. So you know how I'm kind of obsessed with this idea now of like there's a good answer and there's a bad answer. And I also was at a point where I thought that just effort alone was merit. It's not. It sucks, but it's not. If you're working 15-hour days, but you're working on something that is innately 80% harder to pull off, it doesn't matter how hard you work. The guy who takes a step back and says, what is the thing that I can leverage and what is the best thing I can leverage that has the most value to gain out of leveraging it? Let me focus my attention on that. It's like almost like try smarter, not harder. But also, you need to understand like the paths that maybe have like fail safes in front of them, I guess. Like there's definitely a bad choice, you know what I mean? So you can either waste time on doing the bad choice and then inevitably getting good enough at that bad choice to where it becomes kind of good, or you can understand where there's the most value and the most momentum and the most thing to gain, and leverage that as much as possible so that you're not just great at it, you're fucking the best. And yeah, but that to me is the whole kind of idea of art, is like, as much as it's art is really easy to get up your ego about, you know what I mean, where you're like, but this is the way that I want it to be done, and it's like, well, I guess that's good, that's okay. I guess it depends on what you want out of it. If you want something out of it, then you have to understand that there's variables that will engage with the thing that you create, and it's best to understand those variables if you want anything out of it, even if it's just to have people truly feel what you want your art to feel, or make them feel. Sorry. Yeah, but anyways, sorry about that. Nub says you can, but it limits the production too much. Okay. So much companies just OPT to go, opt to go with the lighter rules that just have the patch for free. Oh, I see. That makes sense. Okay, so yeah, so it basically has restrictions that they don't want to deal with, so they'd rather just kind of get around the rules. It makes sense. I need to drink water. I'm starting to overheat. Luke says, now I remember. Hatred. Yeah, the game is just, it just seems horrible. It just seems like a And Nub says, or if they really scummy paid deal. Yeah, sometimes they're insane though. Sometimes they're like, they scale it up. I used to watch The No, who used to talk a lot about it, but they used to scale up like I think it was one of those weird games where like it actually seemed funny. It was like I think it's called Galgagun, I think it was called. But it basically is like you shoot clothing off of people, you know, classic Japanese craziness. But what do you call it? They were charging like a DLC for that, which was like $100 and some, something crazy. Just to like have some weird nude things, but that was it. It was also wasn't like anything more. It was just like, yeah, look at nipple, I guess, you know. Nub says, or Let's go. Text overlay translation doesn't work anymore. It was abandoned in 2018, I think. Wow. Valhalla says, all right, the spell thing. Leonard says, I'll drop my build in your Discord when it's complete. I got a little more farming to do. Man, I can't wait. Appreciate that. That's my favorite thing, man. Like, that was one thing I was a little worried about, is like by me, I'm very honest about like, this comes from this guy, this comes from this guy, and I thought I would get a lot of shit from it, or people were like, what are you doing, stealing everyone's shit? And I'm like, man, I'm just trying to give people the best. I'm very clear about my objective, which is to give people the most funnest ways to engage with the game. I think that's what hopefully everyone's content creator wise should be, and I haven't seen anyone really hold back on throwing out their save file, so I think it all works. But yeah, I'm happy to see people still are doing that, which I'm a little worried people would be like, no, this is my magnum opus. I'm like, okay. Mortal Man says, also, there are sigils that attach to you, heal you, buff damage, and res with multiple charges. Rare, though. I've only ever seen so far, too. Awesome. Yeah, there's a couple of those ones that I thought would be cool with, like, healing and damage amp, which would be really nice. Valhalla says, yeah, I'm up on Trickster's Ice Spikes and Quaking Thunder. Oh, really? Nice. Yeah, the Quake one, I haven't seen too many of them. Like, not ones like that have that reduction to cooldown, but are still like mad powerful, you know? Ooh, the Rainbolt. It's chaotic. Yeah, this is a new spell that they've introduced. I'm sure you guys know about it at this point, but it's very neat. It seems like it's designed for the Stabomancer, because it applies multiple elements to a target. All that. Also, it comes back fast. Enemies hit by this chain of element will do more damage. Yeah. Okay. What it is? Man. What is this? Lightning bolt, 2 charges. Lightning will chain to nearby. That one's terrible. Is that the one I'm thinking about? Dance. Yeah, I think you just hold out your hand and it just attaches a lightning tether to people. Not good. At least not for me. Interesting. Charge a throwing shard lightning. Oh, see, this is the one I want. This is the one I want with multiple charges, because I think it'd be really good. Basically, it's like exactly like the thing from BioShock Infinite. You could like charge up like your lightning and chuck a little ball that would like tase people in an area, which to me would be so cool. Ooh, repeating cast 2 charges. That's Erupt though. It's only one. It's only that. I really want to get an AoE repeating cast kind of spell. It's just like a huge circle that just pops. Like I can get like repeating cast on those that just has a lot of damage. But yeah. Luke says Frost don't need more damage. Put lightning really needs fire and poison too. Well, that's what I'm curious about, Luke, because I feel like maybe it's if you're talking about, I would agree if you're talking about relativity, which is like relative to cryo and dark magic, these things need some help. Granted, I think you could still make a fire build, which if you gave the same amount of amplification that you gave to your cryo build of like cryo damage, elemental damage bonus, special necklace that buffs fire damage, all of these things stacked in a row, I think that would be exponentially good. Now, I will say they did miss a huge opportunity with the new like slag meta, or like the new class mod that basically increases damage if they have the wet status on them. They missed the mark on that for like just saying, okay, we're gonna use fire, electricity, and poison as this huge damage amp, so they can kind of compete. Granted, it's kind of like a band-aid problem, but in that way could make them equal out. But yes, more chaos trials. Oh man, I sometimes feel like we do a trial and we don't actually get a level. Yeah, because I could have sworn we just did 25. I don't like it. Chaos trial, yeah, see, 26. I thought we should have done that before. Yeah, see, now it's 26. What the hell? What is that? It was just 25, and we just changed it to 26 now. Why was that not there? You fucking damn it. God damn it. We just did 2, I think, for nothing. Ugh. Pain. Let me finish my coffee. Also, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm not going to talk about it. I was about to say something. Valhalla says, I have a feeling all the DLC gear will basically be like the soaked buff, where they help upgrade damage. I hope so, man. I really, like, to me, that's the thing where people are like, is slag back? I haven't really seen the community consensus of it. I just heard people kind of, their thumbnails. And I'm worried I don't know. To me, that's the goal. The goal should be for every one of these like doors to unlock a new possible build or idea of it, or a thing of engaging with the game, etc. Like, I'm really hoping that they eventually release like a class mod or a something that basically gives you the chance, that gives the Graveborn more of the ability to summon things, whether that's like, you know, summoning forth one of the snake AI, or whether that's summoning one of the derpy golem, like, what is it called, goblin things to fight people. Because right now the summoner, like, literally the guy, Graveborn in the code is titled, I think, is Necromancer, but he only really summons like a lich. That's the whole thing he does. Like, not Lich, sorry, Hydra. He only summons the Hydra. That's his only innate thing. Otherwise, he's just a spell guy. He's done no necromancy here. That's not good. That's not good. Also, is anyone who is a Clobbringer main, has anyone felt any sort of big impact since the next updates, things like that? Because I know they said that he got better, but I just don't know how much better he got. Leonard says, I like Glacial Cascade ×2 for mobbing. Triple Ice Spike for bossing, and Spell Shot Cap is basically infinite spells, 5 seconds on cap. As long as you have a flying gun, Nightshade, they will keep reset. Yeah, man. To me, my favorite, man, is the it's funny because I never would have thought I would have liked it so much, but it is the meteorites. But I think I would have hated it if it didn't have such a high cooldown. Like, I literally get these back in, like, it feels like even less than 5 seconds, but I think there's always a cap that reaches you to that point. But yeah, those meteors are fun a lot. But yeah, I don't know. To me, man, Ice Spike, that was the one thing also when I was making that build, is that build could have been released like almost 4 days prior. But I didn't like the answer that was, here's more Ice Spikes, because I've seen a lot of people kind of using them, and I thought, there's got to be a way to make the legendaries hit hard enough to where we can use them. Okay, there's got to be a way. And then I started testing enchantments a bunch, and then I found out that what do you call it? All damage dealt does stack, and that really helped them like survive, because Glacial Cascade was not doing enough damage at all, just by itself. And again, a lot of the damage we were also getting is from pixies. Like, that's a huge thing, because pixies are basically just like good base damage scaling off of high spell damage increases. So they also help a lot, you know? But yeah, also shit. Pixies are killing things very far away from where I can get to them. Fuck. Oh, shit. Give me a second. Give me this. We just need the one. We'll loop back around. Give me 2. Stop it. I'm putting it on. There we go. Golly. Okay, we're done. Whew. Yeah, I feel like we should focus on killing things. Like, yeah. Oh, after I drank that coffee, I feel like I might have a heart attack. Oh, shit. Also, I'm happy to report your boy has started. I need to make a video on Reincarnated Slime, just ranting at you guys about it. But I have started, I'm 3 episodes in to My Dress Up Darling, because I was just like, fuck it, this is new, and it's probably better for video-wise to cover a relatively new anime. Granted, maybe people are tired of people talking about it, but I'm actually surprised. It's a little slower than I was expecting. Granted, I did just watch Reincarnated Slime, which keeps like a solid, consistent pace, whereas like Overlord kind of bounces up and down a little bit, where like you have this like arc where it kind of has a cradle, and then you like rev up really hard, whereas Slime is just constantly here. Just constantly, especially season 2, dude. Season 2 is just like, oh my god, it just, things keep happening. I'll go with this one. Yeah, Glacial Cascade 2 is great. Is that, oh, you mean two charges of Glacial Cascade? Yeah, man, yeah. I hope that you can get, well, that's the thing, even though Glacial Cascade, well, I think Glacial Cascade can always have, was it ×3? Is that right? Yeah, it's always ×3, but then it also has like extra projectiles. And if you look at it, I think that extra projectiles is meaning something a little bit different. I think it means, how do I put it? It means there's like ice spikes that come up after the fact. So when you're done casting, you'll see like these 4 ice spikes pop up. I think that's based on like the pellet count that you can get. which I think also helps Glacial Cascade's performance generally. But yeah. What's a good barrier? Consider it something. I have no idea. I have yet to get a good. Actually, I got one. I got one that I think, I'm not sure if it's just good damage wise or if it's just good. I think it's this. Yeah. It's a sigil. It's volatile. It's cryo, and it does 300 and some spell damage. So I think it hits really hard and attacks very quickly. And I just know it melts people. Yeah. Is this the one that summons? This one might be the one that summons Hydras as well, which is excessive. Because it summons Hydras and it summons this. It's just madness. But also, well, I guess it's good because the Hydras make it ranged. Let's use that for a little bit. I'll have to change up my whole build, though. It's fine. It'll be okay. It'll be fine. Where is it? Unless it's not the one that summons Hydras. Am I crazy? Is this... Where the hell do I... Is this it? I think that's it. Yes. Okay, we'll put that on. We'll put on our necklace that is crossed. And we'll put on our... We'll leave on that. We'll leave on that fucking other one. Yeah, okay. What's a good... Oh, Barrage. Right? Yeah, Barrage. I haven't got to get a good Barrage one, personally. Also, I'm not sure if I want Barrage, you know? But yeah, I feel... Let me know if you find a good one. Let me know how it feels. Because, I don't know, to me... I like the instant detonation of spells on top of an enemy, you know? It feels quite satisfying. Also, we should use a cryo pistol. There we go. Nub says, well, most games, if you buy it in Japanese site, it's around $80 to $100. Jesus. Yeesh. It's just because the Japanese... Oh, isn't the Japanese dollar also like crazy right now? Like excessively big? Not sure if it's justified or if it's undervalued. Who knows? Oh yeah, no, this was not the one that has the Hydras. That was the cool Hydra spell, but it's still neat. Granted, I think we kill everything in 2 seconds anyway, so yeah. Still a moot point. But anyways. Give me all this. Leonard says, concentrated magic barrage with extra damage and projectiles. The cooldown drops down if you crit. So it's like 3 seconds. Cooldown on your barrage. Build crit spells for thing. It was a 90. Yeah. I see. It's like a legendary spell, right? That crits consistently. Yeah. It seemed interesting, that one, but I don't know, man. To me, I don't like when things have that level of variability. Like I like when things. Like, the variability when it's attached to cooldown, it's not my cup of tea, you know? Whereas if it's variability on, like, damage, that's fine, because I always can keep firing, you know? I always have something to do, but when you feel like you're like, God damn it, why isn't it back yet? It's usually back by now, shit! That fucking one chance that I have to not have it come back is happening. Why? Why, God? Why did I go to that one? I don't know. It's instinct to go to that one because, yeah, we're always trying to break our builds. Wouldn't drink water help with that? With what? Oh, with the dehydration? Yes, a little bit. Little bit. Mortarman says, I wonder if a week of the DLC focused on different elemental damage types. I feel like it may be. I don't know. To me, it seems like it's going to be focused on whatever the theme of the boss is, which this one is very much like the what is it called? Like the sea, right? So like a lot of the weapons have been, I guess not all of them. I guess it's just the class mod. I can see the class mod, like, that actually makes a lot of sense. Also, god damn it, barrels. That makes a lot of sense because we're essentially always going to be killing what is functionally like an elder god / a being of immense power. So the fact that they always will drop a class mod that is going to basically be the very thing that makes you godlike, and maybe even a spell that does that as well, that kind of seems akin. So I could expect that of like they'll drop a class mod that gives you the power of that very same elder god, which to me, in this instance, oh man, not that. We'll take dot damage decrease. But yeah. I can see the next couple specifically being class mod changes. Also, I don't know what it is about this boss, man, but this boss sometimes just drops me hard. It's not the good. There we go, do that. Just melt him this way. Do this. Wow, this whole AoE thing really packs a punch. Oh, got a banner thing. And we got the chest piece. I wish I got the last chest piece that I got, the one that's like the class mod that gives you. In fact, maybe we should start wishing on that. Yeah, because I was wondering if that was the case. For the class mod that gives, well, not for this build. I wonder if it would be good for the Krieg build. Maybe. No, because we're not really buffing Dark Magic yet. We need to buff, yeah. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to play with that class mod yet, but I think it'd be a good spellcaster mod. But this one, our class mod that takes all of our spell damage and feeds into our ability damage, specifically when you're playing Graveborn, is just too damn good. So yeah, a little bad, but yeah. Also, I might die here. Shit. Leonard says also soaked spells is bait. If you have the soak spell, you will give your other spell 150 if it's cryo or lightning. But if you just equip a second spell instead, that translates to 200% damage. Oh, I see. So if you take an exact carbon copy of your spell instead of it buffing that way. Well, I think that's the thing, Leonard. There's not. You're basically going to be able to put it on top of it, no? Because there's not. Well, I'm not talking about. There's a class mod that also exists. I think you're pretty probably aware of that. But yeah, there's a class mod that you can wear that basically whenever you get a critical hit across the board, that can be from your pixies, that can be from your guns, that can be from your companions. So if you put on the class mod that does that, and you have the two spells, then I think it will supersede your damage. Or am I misunderstanding the math? Which happens often. So yeah. A kid says they could just do similar stats to soaked next time for poison. Yeah, I don't. To me, I would hope that that's not it because it kind of seems a little phoned in. Like I would hope that they're like class mods are like, again, maybe it's just me, but like the like you can summon a pixie when taking damage. You can summon a you can call down a lightning bolt that scales off of your melee damage. When you get hit or something, so like anything. So then like there'd be incentive to like put a dot on you and then just start ripping people apart just by your class mod detonating constantly, you know, things like that. But yeah, just the idea that like, because I think people are already able to dip into a lot of damage, right? So I feel like for us to have like more of that, I'm kind of like, well, I feel like we want more ways of completely engaging entirely, like different things entirely. Create a storm in an area. What does that look like? That's really cool. That's real cool, actually. What the fuck is that, man? That looks. I was awesome. That's a whole ass skill, or an action skill from the Spore Warden. That's gotta feel shitty. The Spore Warden's like, what the fuck are you doing to me? Why are you taking this from me? Granted, you know, Graveborn summons Hydra, yeah. Magic Barrage, repeating cast, more projectiles, no. I bet you can get a ×2 of that storm thing and just wreck. Repeating cast several ice spikes in quick succession, no. Barrel Maker, no. One of those is special. Nope, that's not it. Where the hell is it? Oh, but this is the one spell that I want. Oh no, it's Splintering. Splintering is not. But there's like there's a spell that's amazing that it's you like basically throw a bunch of shards in somebody and it stacks damage over time like crossbow bolt. But it's only good if you have multiple projectiles and things like that. Ooh, Mortiman says soaked, scorched, zapped, or no, sapped. Frost, fire, and lightning. Interesting. Poison would be sickness or something like that. Yeah, I hope it wouldn't be that. It kind of, that for me feels phoned in a little bit, and it only would be good for like specific elemental builds. And if I'm paying $15 for something, I would hope to get like an actual like, completely augmented way of playing, you know, or $10 US for you guys. I think for me Canadian, it's a little bit more. Maybe we get a second spell tree for everyone eventually when they raise the level cap and more ability. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I forgot the level cap is going to be getting increased eventually too. So, people complaining Clawbringer is too strong. People are so simple on Reddit. Wait, what? No way! Is the Clawbringer now considered to be like Big Poopa? That's awesome to hear. Is that what you guys mean? That's good. I'm happy to hear about that. Yeah. To me, again, it's not about the character. Like I don't like people are saying that also. Like Spellshot's too strong, but I'm like the Spellshot is a character that's people are really liking building things for because he's kind of simple to make things work, and his whole basis is enabling spells. So if you nerf him, you nerf all of the possibilities of using spells. Whereas the Clawbringer is supposed to be the thing that does it well. Does a lot of things. Yeah, to just say he does one thing, it's a lot. It's a lot, but yeah. A possible QOL is that mod that teleports your companions to periodically. Okay. Fluff says Clawbringer is definitely. Oh, what's good, Fluff? How are you, buddy? It's been a hot minute. Hopefully, you've been taking care of yourself. Appreciate you. I know you had a lot of stuff going on, but thank you for stopping by. Clawbringer is definitely not overpowered by any means. The lightness buffs help, but it was a cap. But it was for the capstone primarily. Clawbringer's lack of a lot of his core stats, just bonus damage here and there. Okay, huh? Leonard says I'm a tune out. Had a great time watching night guys. Thanks for stopping by, Leonard. Fluff says howdy. Apologize for missing out on the last few streams. No, it's all good. Dealing with some stubborn kidney pain. Oh, that's not good, Fluff. Jesus. Hope you're okay, buddy. And been trying to treat it and prioritize rest when I subside. Yeah, absolutely, Fluff. Prioritize that 100%. We need you in this world, buddy. Looks like it says it's all good, Fluff. Hope you feel better, 100%. Fluff says I'm not, but it does seem to be stones. Okay, at least there's that. That's still awful though. I know so many people that talk about that being like one of the worst pains that could possibly exist. It's kidney stones. But I'm staying out of the hospital. We have paid. I've been keeping applied to the painful spot and massaging it, further alleviating reduction pain. That's good. That's a really good idea. Yeah, but that's gotta be a pain note. Cons keep doing that. Orman says it's not 150%. It raises your damage, which is 100% at a base, and raises it by 50. Equivalating 150. Interesting. Orban said it's not 150% rise. It raises your damage, which is 100%. Oh, I see. So it's only a 50% increase is what you're saying. So it's not a 100% increase, it's a 50% increase. But isn't that also pretty good? Because isn't the only increase that the class mod gives you is like this one, which kind of lets your other. I guess this doesn't just take. This takes all of like the insane stack that you have for spell damage and puts it into everywhere else. But I don't know, as far as the basically my understanding of other class mods is that there's not a lot of like good ones, frankly. Oh, I guess why most builds use this one, because it kind of helps you, like when you're taking already a high stat and putting it into your other stats, it kind of just equals out into being better. Whereas if there's a class mod that gives you an entire, like to me, the one that gives you your shield conversion is good, but also negates your ability to use other things. Like your necklace kind of has to be there. Granted, maybe if you have certain spells, you can just keep casting and keep chunking up your shield. But I don't know. Little Savage says, evening, fellas. Me and my wife just hopped on to do some more Chaos Chambers as well. Nice, man. Good luck. It's the whole ass thing. Do this. Also, make sure your like Chaos trials are like locked and loaded. Yeah, because that was the weird thing, man. Like when I load in, it just says like trial, like almost like it loads up to the default without me being able to see like the chaos trial thing. So now we're at 27 again. Good. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm off to go use the washroom. Talk amongst yourselves. Ooh, I'm back. Ooh. Ooh. Guys, I used to get into my chair and it used to not go. Okay? And now it does that. And I feel judged. Okay? It's disgusting. Ugh. Alright. What's happening? Luke says fire can be oiled. That's cool. I'm not sure. I know that's like it's not a bad. I'm paying $50 man for a DLC. I don't want it to be like, yeah, we just tweak some numbers and you can basically hit hard with a specific element. I'm like, what? Give me an entirely different way to build and a reason for it, you know? But I understand other people may not want it. But yeah. Also, is this good? I don't think it's chaotic or volatile, but it looks cool as hell. We create a tornado. Look how cool that is. Can we cast multiple? I don't know. I don't know if that's possible. Also, does it have a mind of its own, or is it just shit? I don't know. I don't know. Go, tornado! Now there's just stuff in the sky. God damn it. It's fine. We've done it. This. And this. Oh, what do we got? Darkness something. I don't know what that is. Doesn't tell me. Save your soul timer is reduced. Great. Awesome. What? Lone Syndicate says, doing Yai Miko's story quest and her reaction to problems is the same as mine. It's in fact, I don't care about what's going on. So you're not happy with it or what? Or no, you're saying like, who cares? Other people's problems, get away from me, okay? Maybe it's just me, but I actually don't mind listening to people's problems, yeah. But also, I've really tried to develop the problem-solving mindset type thing. Oh, so shit. Go, my pixies, eat. There we go. Thank God. Ra-pa-pa-pa-pa. Gimme. And this one. Ooh. Max said, I'ma head out. Bye, Max. I'ma vomit. Because I drank so much water. What happened? Feral, that's what happened. Go, pixies. Goddamn fight for your life is... Oh, shit. Oh, phase, please phase through the... Thank you. Whew. I would have been 7 times dead if I wasn't for the pixies being able to phase through walls. Yeah. It looks cool, but, you know, damage... Sorry, you just seen that the fucking pixies just went... just threw one pellet in there and pop. Just gone. Too funny. Let us rock some... we'll rock some of that, yeah, before so we don't have to change everything out. Good old meteorites, which do quite the number. Also, they come back. Look, our meteorite already back. Check this out. There we go. Took a while. Also, it's 2. Madness. Fluff says, we'll be trying to stock up on bananas as it will help me and my acid reflux that helps flush my system. Too much. Oh, you have too much sodium in your system? I see. Interesting. Yeah, man. The whole fasting thing for me really made it... but also I realized I recently heard, like, I listened on the podcast and I was like, oh yeah, I didn't really consider that too much. But for me, a person who is not very, I don't know what to call it, but I'm not like a big food person, basically. And also I tend to be like a masochist when it comes to proving that I don't need something. Like I'll be like, fuck it, stop it, and I'll do that. But for me, fasting was really helpful. But I'm also fully aware that people could take that as a bad thing. You know, people could have that be a negative source, essentially. So for me, it's good. I'm not sure if it's good for everybody, but yes. Also, yeah, no, that one's not very good. Grab this with this, you know. Also, okay. But yeah, man, what do you call it? It's crazy how like the things that you eat play such a part. Like for me, Fluff, what I always do, there's something that you. This is the reason why I brought this up, by the way, is because you mentioned potassium and salt, and for those guys who don't know, the reason why I think they correlate really well together is salt, potassium, I think, coats your veins, or your blood's pathways, essentially, so that your body can basically function off of handling what salt does without absorbing it. So it's able to kind of flush it if you have too much of it, absorb it when you don't have enough of it. But if you don't have a sufficient amount of potassium in your bloodstream, your body can't filter it properly because your veins aren't coated with this, with its ability to help with that or something. But one of the things that's also pretty cool is you can buy something in the store called No Salt, which is basically a replacement for salt, and it's basically just pure potassium. So if you take a tablespoonful of salt, also keep casting. Ooh, a dot got on me. If you take a little bit of salt and a little bit of that no salt, it basically equals out, so that you have the ability to absorb a shit ton of salt, but without actually having any negative, because your body's also able to flush it when it has an abundance, which is quite nice. That's one of the reasons why you can, like, I fasted for 3 days, almost 4 days, and that's one of the strategies that you do. It's called what's it called? Some sort of, like, I don't know what it's called. So basically, it's just like salt water and potassium, essentially. So what it does is it just allows your body to not feel hungry because you're constantly doing that. But granted, I hate the way that's a bad sentence for people who have people who have a proclivity to not want to have, like, body dysmorphia, etc., and to want to lose weight above all else, and then they starve themselves, which is not good. Also, it doesn't work because you'll drop 10 pounds and you'll gain them back immediately. So it's not a healthy thing to do. I just do it because it helps moderate my input on a daily basis, not a week, like 3 days without eating, you know. But yeah, because it's really hard to get, like, your day's worth of calories within just 2 meals, or even 1 meal, or 1.5 kind of meals, you know. But it's funny you mentioned that, Fluff, because yeah, that was something that I always make sure to do, is whenever I have my noodles, my really, really salty noodles, you know, instant noodles, etc., I make sure to put a teaspoon of that potassium in there, which is just pure, or no salt, which is just pure potassium, so that my body can filter out that heavy degree of salt, and I feel pretty good afterwards. It doesn't, like, you know, sometimes when you eat something that's super salty, your body goes like, ugh. Well, if you have sufficient potassium, your body will just flush the excess out of your body. But that's nutrition-y things. Don't worry about it. Also, we do not need to be using the, like, in any way, the Buffmeister. I just do it because of the movement speed, because it helps me move around to certain places. But yeah. Oh, you tanky. Look at you. Oh, there's something over there. Oh, there's so many. Meteorite. God, Meteorite's so good. Just so much AoE. It also comes back so fast. Oh, shit. Max says, hello. Luke says, we have a list of new items from the DLC, question mark. I don't know. I don't know if we have all of them yet. Also, I hope that they left some for each phase. Because if it's literally just like a challenge mode, that sucks. Like, if the new DLC is like, hey, there's a harder enemy, that sucks. But I think each week there might be, because there's only like, I've only seen 2 spells, 2 weapons, and 1 class mod. So I could see there being, and also not very many cosmetics, but maybe I just haven't gotten lucky with the cosmetics. Granted, there could be a point for that, which is like every single week we're going to get 1 or 2 more legendaries, which I think would be a good idea if they literally just gave us all of it, and the only incentive to do the chambers is literally just because I don't know, if they didn't have any sort of like carrot on a string, I think it's a big bad idea, like a big bad idea. The reason why is because even if they're like, say if they're like, hey, no, what we did is we gave you a lot of incentive to use, what is it, like when you're on the max difficulty of this thing, you're going to be able to get like crazy souls. It doesn't matter because it takes so long to roll the wheel, so it's far faster just to do the chaos chambers and to just get the ability to what do you call it, to just wish immediately, like pull from a specific pull of the bunnies, etc. I think it was a really bad choice. Well, it's a bad choice, Robert. I think it was I hope that if I just don't know what the incentive. I just don't know the incentive to do the DLC, because you just do it once and then it's chaos chambers again, more chaos chambers. Yeah, I'm hoping that when you reach the max tier of chum, there's like an incentive for going, like only he can drop this certain legendary or certain drop, purple, whatever, because to me it's just there's no incentive to do the chambers right now. Granted, maybe it's because some legendary gear is found within the chaos chambers, but then there's some that's exclusive to the mirror. I would hope that's the way it is, but I haven't seen anything that's shown that yet, but hopefully I'm wrong. But yeah. Clawbringer strength is a mix of elemental and ability damage. Some melee strikes, tankiness, berserker boosts melee and tankiness. Stabbo does status, spore boosts ability, and tree the best classes to pair up with it. Oh, I see. Do this. I can try to find my link. Mortal Man says, yeah, CB always seems to be a supplement, a multi-class to me, which made me wonder why it had such a flat additional crit rate in the tree. Yeah. The store I'm spelling spells are situational, I believe. The store spells are situational. What's that one? Oh, the storm. Oh, the storm ones. I see what you're saying. Yeah. The storm ones are situational. Interesting. Yeah, I hope because to me, there's always seems like there's a version of something. Like if you had repeating cast and you just stacked like a ton of tornadoes out in the world space, that could be pretty good, you know? And they always had like a chance to detonate. I think that'd be good. But it's like finding that thing is excessive, you know? What is this? Arc, no. No, what about these? No, it's less cooldown. That's fun. Marshmallow, although it's volatile, it has still a long cooldown, even with the reduction. Eruption. Talon. Splintering again, damn it. Okay, well, we've made it to level 28. What do you think? I'm not sure we'll be able to make it to 30 here. Hopefully. See, like that. It says Chaos Trial, but what it's really saying is normal Chaos Run, because you're not seeing that thing in the top, the thing that says like, hey, do you think that's why when I go back to Chaos Trial, you guys can now see that it has that code level or the Chaos level above it. So it's fucked up, because when you load in, it's just saying normal, but it's a UI problem. Another UI problem. I know. Great. Also, before I go, I want to look at my heads and skins. Because I had a bunch of them, and then our game crashed, and I lost all of my heads and skins. So pain, suffering, the whole 9 yards. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we got anything cool now. I think it's just tattoos, probably. Still, it's something. Headgear. Oh, we got the sombrero. Yeah, it's kind of something. Also, it has hair underneath there. Okay, I didn't know there was even hair. Sure, let's rock the sombrero for a hot minute. We'll wear what we got. We got a face tattoo. Face tattoos. Well, great. Well, I kind of see him. All right, we look like a Star Wars villain. Feels about right. We're gonna keep what we had. Yeah, we'll come back to the eyeliner game and all that stuff later. Whoosh. Lone Syndicate says, because this guy is worried about his brother and Yai's just over here like, it's fine. And Paimon over here like, maybe you should help him. And I'm like, shut up, Paimon. Yai doesn't care anyone enough to say his name. She refers to him as what. Well, so Yai seems like a bitch, is what you're saying. She seems like a horrible person, is what you are in fact saying. Granted, she is like a demigod. So fair, of like, you know, mortal coil, all that stuff. Fluff says, well, they fixed the additional crit, or additive crit, so it remains a supplementary class that provides lots of indirect benefits. Hopefully, like, to me, that was the problem, is that it didn't, and this is my understanding, I haven't touched the Callbringer, but my overarching thought of it was that there was much more beneficial classes, whether it's Stabomancer, that would benefit you than other things, I guess. That was my sense, but maybe that was incorrect. But maybe now it's more of an equal out playing field. Fluff says it would have been better for if the DLC was priced like the Headhunter stuff from Borderlands 2. Just hope the rest of the DLC will be more substantial, even time gated as it is. And that's the new. Oh, and that the new class is fun. I mean, again, I still think it's. Again, I might be the one eating my words. It's fair, but I do think people should just be I don't know. I understand that it's maybe again it could be absolute shit, like really bad, where there's nothing to be gained, etc. Or like this is it. Like, but I don't know. I'd like to think that as soon as the Chum gets released, there's going to be more legendaries every single week, and I feel like as much as people say that they want this or that, I think Gearbox can literally see the algorithm. You know, I think they can literally see that. Well, what people did. All the people that played Borderlands and supported it and bought DLCs were the crazy people who were literally killing Trant every single day for like 2 years. So what if we made that better? and yeah, because we make a DLC with tons of side quests and story and shit, and nobody plays the story or side quests at all. They make it through the story. They don't really like it because we're bad at kind of making stories. and yeah. So to me, I think this is literally them looking at that data and saying, well, hey, we made a whole game mode that's kind of facilitated around you. Every single week you're going to be getting new legendaries. Granted, I don't know. It could literally just be like, no. They just made like a challenging run. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. But also maybe because they knew they were going to be introducing a bunch of new Chaos Chambers, they're like, okay, we're going to give you guys world drops for the first introduction to Chum. Next week's is going to be exclusive to what do you call it, the things. If they do that, then I'm back on the okay. I have faith in their ability to understand the community and the way that it functions, because yeah, I feel like if they were to give everybody everything all at once, people would just skip what they don't like, rather than and then be like, where's more content? And it's like you have beans on your food, your tray, man. Like you gotta finish your beans, kiddo. You know. And granted, you don't have to finish your beans, or grant respect, but it's I understand that if you were investing in a bunch of shit like work wise. Then it probably would be a good idea that you would, especially when like I feel like people would enjoy the thing, but when people are in a state of abundance, they can pick and choose what they are willing to even try, you know. So I'd hope that that's the case, but again, I could be dead ass wrong. We could get to next week and it's literally no new legendaries, only a harder challenge mode from a thing that has no incentive value to do it. You know, who knows? Hopefully not. I haven't had much of an appetite. The first day of my kidney pain had me nauseated and couldn't even eat food or pills or keep food or pills down. Jesus. So it may be infection or damage due to me taking so much Advil lately. Yeesh. I'll keep that in mind. The bananas could help in similar benefit. Yeah. The bananas are good, but to me, I don't know. To me, I like it's pure potassium, so it just fucking hits you. Granted, it's pretty yucky to taste. It tastes like salt, but yeah, it's you can find it in the supermarket called no salt. But you're just trying to look for a potassium. It's basically thing. But I think you would need to eat a lot of bananas to get the same amount you would get in like a teaspoon of that. So that's kind of what I mean. And your body cannot have enough. Your body can have plenty of potassium. I don't think you can potassium poisoning. Fluff says we've got apple cider vinegar, which I drank with water for the first 2 days. I've been drinking plenty of lemonade, lemon infused water, since it still helps. Yeah. No, I do the same thing. I've apple cider vinegar, salt, no salt, and I drink it. It's terrible, but it like to me it kind of flushes your system a little bit. But I hope you're I wonder why the lemon. Does lemon just help with clean your kidneys out? I guess. Mortal Man says meant. Sustainer or situational. Okay, I see. It's been like that since before patch. No, Fluff says main thing I know is that Chum has a bigger set of move sets with each difficulty tier. Not sure if the loophole. Yeah, if it's just like the guy's harder to fight, because to me that's the one thing that would make no sense. But I could be also a way that they're trying to sell it, which is that Chum has a bunch of new movesets, and every single time you kill the next hardest part of Chum, so if you do like tier difficulty 4 for Chum, and they give you a ton more souls, it still takes far too long to roll the dice. Like, that's one of the best parts about the bunnies. They literally just shove a bunch of crystals in their mouth and they spit out stuff instantly. Where you're sitting there for like the roulette table and like, just give me whatever. I don't care if it's good. Stop spinning and give me the thing, please. Or let me spend like 60 more of the currency and get a better chance at getting the thing. But stop doing it this way. This. The soak status sounds really good for lightning focus, though. Yeah. This soak status to me was it was cool. I understand that it seems like it's not as good as it might sound, but I don't know. I wonder what it would be useful for then. Yeah, because I understand the spell being like having like a limited return. So if you had just had the same spell, you would just get 100% damage on your offhand. But if you had the one thing, the class mod on your chest, or like class mod. I thought the class mod would be good. I think the spell is not as good as just having a duplicate of the spell you already have in your one hand, but I do think the class mod on top of everything else would seemingly be pretty good, especially as far as damage amps go, because I don't feel like there's that many damage amp class mods to begin with, besides the crit by 50%. I think the crit bonus by 50%, but also decreases critical chance by 50%, would get smothered by the 100 and what essentially was a 50% chance bonus, something like that. I still may not be understanding the math of it, of what it actually means. So forgive me if that's way off, but yeah. Doing my best. Is that one times 5? He shaped the world in his hands. That's not new, right? I don't think so. Let me catch up on chat. Yeah, that got the tab balanced fourth. They haven't fixed it. Okay. Nub says Trant deserves 1 billion more deaths. I was about to say, man, I think that whole Trant thing, like, again, it's so weird because it felt like such a disconnect between the game dev people and like the people who were building stuff at the same time, because like they kept doing like Trant, like it almost like as if some people in Gearbox thought, oh, people just really like killing Trant because he's like a cool boss to kill, right? And it's like, no, he's just an easy kill, man. There's no invincibility phase. And then sure as shit, more DLCs would come by and they're like, invincibility frame, invincibility phase, invincibility phase. And you're like, what the fuck? But then there's like a quickie DLC that's like, hey, we put Trant here because we know you guys like killing him. And it's like, nobody likes killing Trant. We like the fact that he dies immediately. Okay? Jesus. Maybe I'm being pessimistic, but that to me was a weird one where I was like, why is there still a good bit of vulnerability phases in the game? Now, granted, Wonderlands is significantly better. I think a part of it is literally just them being like, I wanted to have a cool interaction and reason for you to kind of wait and not just go, which I built my thing like that. And I'm like, oh, okay. Fluff says, I do have a spare barbarian brow, so if I get a chance, I'll drop you a copy. Oh, nice. Luke says, yes, I got the new armor with the spell shot skill stack thing. Ooh, really? God damn, I hope you chuck that in the thing. Is it volatile or is it just chaotic? Because if it's volatile, whew, hopefully you drop that in the tab whenever you get a chance to show us your build, because golly. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Also, what's good, Chatty? Chatty says, I feel so lost at endgame. I can't get past Chaos level 10. Why would that? Chat, I feel like you got it, Chatty. Gotta give you some more credit. Give you some more time. Don't be in a rush. You'll get there in no time. But a lot of what Chaos level stuff is, Chatty. Well, first of all, Chatty, do you have a build that's sufficient? So do you know what to build for? Because if you don't, I'm assuming you're on console. If you're on PC, then you can just download a save file. It's relatively easily. But if you can tune into our stream on Saturday, Sunday stream, in a couple days here. Sunday stream, I'll be drooping the build that we're currently using, which can kind of destroy every chaos level. I'll be dropping the gear, so you'll at least need a Graveborn or a Stabomancer, a Graveborn or a Spell Shot as a base, and then you just respec with the character that we have. They have a video tied to it, so you can see that. But if you're just talking about the normal aspect of the game, also Luke says it's just normal, the class mod your guy. I see. But yeah, I think the whole chaos thing, the end game, I think it's just people are probably going to get smothered by the idea of like, oh, I need to progress with the chaos levels, and then you hit a wall. And I think the reason why you hit a wall is because there's enchantments, and there's also just getting drops. So sometimes you just need to sit in that chaos level and run it a couple times until you get something that you can kind of leverage. Whether that's, for me, it was a pixie. For others, it was a melee weapon. For others, it was a special pistol that basically shot out a ton of cryo bullets and had no cap. So yeah. Oh shit, Chatty, yeah, PC. Where we go? Chatty says, I'm on PC. Don't do the save file download because I just want to get there. Oh no, absolutely then. Yeah, absolutely. I'm currently running a spell spam, spell shot stab. Yeah, no, you should be perfect. Yeah, just slowly but surely then, Chatty. Yeah. But if you ever feel overwhelmed, hopefully you'll bring yourself back down, because I hope that wouldn't be something that would kick you out of our community, because I feel like you're good people, and I would hate for that to be the case. Fluff says, I'm still very happy with the main Clawbringer, but definitely recognize it's one of the lower end offensive. Yeah, but that to me is also valid. Like if Clawbringer had the same thing, like that one skill that Moe's had, where basically you take away your entire health pool and you convert it into into shield, and then every sort of healing that you gain, you therefore repair it as shield. That to me would be super valuable. But I don't know. I gotta wait until I actually get into Clawbringer. And again, I think it is perception based. I did look at Clawbringer as like kind of a summon, or like a companion class essentially, just because he had so many things that, like, when you do a thing, your companion does a thing. Granted, I think that was only a tiny piece of what he was, but yeah. Oh shit! This, and then shoot him. Shoot it. There we go. This, and then this. Now, sometimes your meteorites can be weird. They can summon from the ground upwards. Really weird. Is what it is. Give me all these. Drop nothing. Ooh, cosmetics. Nope, and nope. Man, I wish they would just like. Yeah, I don't know. I guess cosmetics can be sold, but the fact that you have to hold them is just weird. I may see if I get better performance with the class mod and spell with over my Buffmeister. Maybe. Now, Fluff says I may see if I get better. Oh, I read that. The chat jumped up as soon as I read that. Lemon and other citrus helps clear your kidneys and break down stones. If that's even the problem, but staying hydrated is key for either issue, and I'm definitely doing that. Nice, yeah, good. Stay doing that. Fluff says I may. Oh, see better performance. You walk in the door, you fire a nuke, and you reset the game. Very simple. Is that talking about like how you get power in this game? Let's do this. Let's pull these. Get some class mods. Fluff says, I also recommend prioritizing the buff stallion buffs and less determined curses for the climber want spree. Yeah, to me the whole thing that's weird about that, like when you're trying to progress to your chaos tier max, I think that's a good idea. But a part of me worries when like you're still gonna need to run that level of chaos thing. Granted, maybe you can change it at the last minute. I don't know. Yeah. I worry for like if you overstep your bounds, and then you go to do the chaos chamber, and like you have less stone or like less crystals to do because you couldn't take the curses, you couldn't do all that stuff. So I wonder if there's a point where it kind of diminishes a little bit. Granted, a lot of your power does come from just enchants. So if you just can get some good enchants on your gear, you could probably make a dent, a big dent at that. Not good. There's one in here somewhere. No, thank you. This one, that's it. Wow, the 2 legendaries in that whole thing. Yeah. Boys, we made it to level 29. Yes. Luke says, Sunday, I want some that spells you have for tests. Oh, you want some of the spells we have for Tez? Yes. I hope, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you will be patient with me for that day, because if I can't get to everybody, then we'll just, again, next week is coming around the corner, around the bend. I'll be able to drop stuff for you there. Yes. I have to use the washroom, but we're also winding down, so I can hold it for time. So my guy looks kind of weird. It looks like a granny. A granny demon. Oh, my body. Oh. Fluff says, start getting chaotic upgrade. Yes, true. Chaotic can help you. Although, I feel like getting the right enchantments in some ways can be better than getting anything like that. Also, it's the right prefix. Like, I feel like you would go farther. Well, I guess it's kind of a moot point because, well, no, because yeah, you can get into infinite variability at any point. So if I feel like you got the best version of a weapon or the best version of a spell, that could take you further than a chaotic version of something. And if you had the right enchantments on it, then that would be the same. It'd be the same thing. I think that's like the true end game. And volatile just makes things a little bit excessive because it makes things a scale higher at a base. But I think those are the things that sequence in you just consistently melting things. Granted, you can keep the uptime of on activation of action skill or something like that, right? Luke says, if I can say one thing, Vesper is gorgeous. Got quite the long neck, but yeah, but the dreads look sick. The horns look rad. I will say, I wish she was more a part of the. Well, no, they mentioned that. Yeah, they mentioned that she's gonna slowly become unraveled as we progress. So yeah, she's gonna become more of a thing. Gorgeous, yes. Fluff says, Deathless, Mantled, and Fatebreaker or melee with Vampire plus the other shield recovery buffs make Clawbringer very tough to kill, but it's not directly offensive buff, just pure survivability. Yeah, I know. I guess to me, I like, and again, I haven't experienced the Clawbringer, so I'm just talking without having known if this is a possibility. But I like things that, in any skill tree, enable you to retool your entire character based on a thing, whether that's a skill or something like that. I think that's awesome. Like, that was something that I think Moe's had. I think that was how it was. Yeah, it wasn't just a shield. It was something that like converted her whole health pool, and then you would do it even more, and that would stack on top of each other. And you're like, holy shit! If I do this, also whenever she does a grenade damage, she just regenerates her whole shield or something. So there was that way of like making that really good. And I don't know if like the same, like, again, the fact that I can't just do something that gives me half of my shield back outside of using a special action skill, which is only really good if you have Spore Warden who can use like multiple back to back, then to me having like a huge shield is, again, with the, like, all I need to do is stand in a dot on the ground that will start eating up my shield, and eventually when it gets low, there's no way for me to go unless I have this, what is it called, Spore Warden, who can just regenerate a shit ton of his shield. Not Spore Warden specifically, he just has the barrage that comes back instantly, essentially. Which then you could make use of that, a stupid high scaling shield, And if you had something in a skill tree that also reflect damage, which you might, maybe I'm thinking of a different class, but if you had something in a skill tree that reflected damage, and you're like, okay, now there's a huge intrinsic thing feeding into itself of you having a great deal of survivability, and that translating to having endless survivability in combination with being able to throw your enemy's high scaling damage back at them. I was able to climb from 1 to 18 before I decided to try the gear from Moxie and switched to Clawbringer, which only provided a couple upgrades that allowed me to shred the last 2 trials, which was, after all got nerfed, yeah. So you may want to look at adjusting your build, rolling for ideal enchants, and you should be able to shred through it. Yeah, I definitely think there's a progression thing. I was able to make it to AR Chaos level 20 as well, just by grinding. Clawbringer said, or Fluff says, Clawbringer Lightning Hammer is decent for that. Yeah, it's still not quite as quick. As much as I know it's like I've seen a build where people throw it, but I'm like, I don't know. There's something like, that's the thing that's fucked up about me is like, all I think in my head is like Clawbringer will be able to instantly get this back, or I see some people, but granted, maybe you don't need that. Like, that's probably the argument or perspective. Sorry. Our point of view is the idea that like, oh, well, if you have a fucking 30k shield, you throw a hammer and you get half of it back, it's going to take a long time for an enemy to chew through that 30% or half of that 30% again. But in my head, I'm like, but if I was a Spore Warden, I could just go, think, throw, I'm back. I'm back, baby. You can't put me down. You know, granted, I think they do need to add something that, it's something that facilitates that. Like Moe's also had a couple shields in Borderlands 3 where, like, if you took damage, they would do a thing. Like, whether that's throw a projectile back at an enemy or have, like, an AI that followed you around and dealt damage to you. So having something that facilitated having a lot of uptime on your shield translated into an effect that could output damage, do something, right? I don't know if there's that in the game yet. Yeah. There's kind of things like it. Like, there's when you cast a spell, you can summon forth, like, a rune that explodes with cryo. But that's more of a spell thing, not less of like just an innate. Whenever you take spell damage, you have a chance of like popping a sprite off of the bullet wound, and that's scaled based on the damage you took or something, right? Or scaled off of a percentage of what your shield was. So the higher the shield, the better the sprite that comes off of you when you take damage. So Fluff says Spell and Stabbo will be super glass cannon, so you won't be waiting for more damage. Also, purple spell are very strong, especially for spell. Yes. Man, I hope they also changed that. That was the other thing. There was a shotgun that they released, which is basically like you throw a giant boulder in the shape of a dice at somebody, and you shoot like a pellet pattern of dice. But it's kind of the thing where it's like, oh my god, it shoots so many pellets, but they scaled down each pellet so that the damage was no better than your average run-of-the-mill shotgun Furior, except it has limited variability, which sucks ass. So you're like, what are they doing? I feel like the people who made the purples are like the coders that are deep. They're deep in there. They just, yeah. And then the people who are making the builds are like the legendaries are like, we gotta make sure things don't consume each other and all. And I'm like, what are we doing? You're just talking to different people. How do what? It's just madness. I don't know. But given the spells, some of the spells I feel like are very situational. Like there's one that seems like it's good for the Stabomancer. Applies multiple elements when you cast it. It's a repeating cast too. But yeah. But like I had to work my ass off to try to make the legendary spells hit hard. There's like 3, and the only reason why they hit hard is because they have multiple projectiles which can detonate blast gas. Fuck. Luke says full battery do something like hammer and anvil too. Okay. I gotta play Berserker more, and I gotta play Clawbringer more. I still gotta build off of the bases of Graveborn again. I don't know why I cap myself like this, and I may have a really bad answer to the question, but hopefully not. Hopefully we can still have fun. Paired with Fatebreaker or Vampire Melee or top of the 50% ward cover using the Lightning Hammer, and I was rarely going down. Mobilizing Providence. Again, like I said, Fluff, it wasn't a symptom of like the Clawbringer not having sufficient means to recover his shield. It was more of like a. To me, what makes builds really fun is when you can circumnavigate a law or a rule without the skill tree playing a part in it. Like the idea that Clawbringer has an enchantment, Spore Warden has an enchantment that just by using or throwing your weapon or reloading your weapon, you gain a whole stack of your actions go back instantly. That's not a skill point, that's just an enchantment. So the fact that you could like heavily leverage that in combination with a necklace, which they could add another necklace in the future that scales off of that too. On action skill start, you summon a Hydra. On action skill start, you summon this or that. You do a Nova, whatever it could be. The fact that just by itself quietly could synergize within each other so well without having to like invest in a skill point, like 5 out of 5 in this, 5 out of 5 in that. It was just insane. Granted, it's loot, so you'll have to find it, so in a way it's kind of balanced because it's harder to get, but I don't know, to me that's the stuff that really makes my brain go, yeah, I found it, and then you can invest in more damage because you found this weird workaround. Granted, the enchantments don't smother out a better damage scaling thing, but that's bullshit. That's mathy, crazy, too much. I get to the point where I solve one solution, I move on. But, ladies and gentlemen, I got to go use the washroom and end the stream. But, ladies and gentlemen, you've been nothing shy of absolutely brilliant. For those of you amongst me who are waiting patiently, I did mention really quick that there is a song that's probably my favorite song, but also a little cringe. It happens to be an anime opening. Not opening, just an anime song, okay? I wanted to give you guys that song, which is an absolute banger. Best song I've ever heard. It's great. Am I overhyping it? Yes. Stop it. Don't do that. Don't play that one. We're going to go over here. We're going to go to this. We're going to jump around. We're going to click this. We're going to pause it. Stop. Pause it. Nope. Stop. All the sounds are just shit in the bed. Goddamn, like, fucking playlists. Light me up. There we go. We're going to copy this. Paste this in there. Go here. Paste. I said, there we go. Search that. Stop it. Get rid of that. There we go with this. There we go. Copy. Okay. I got it for you guys. If you guys want to check it out, I'm going to post it in the thing. This, to me, is also GRINN. Don't get caught. I know. It was stupid. It was jumping out for me. But also, ladies and gentlemen, after you're done doing something, there's a video coming out. It's about Saints Row. Also, in that video, I made a point to say that the Saints Row is going to appear on our new gaming channel, Brothers GRINN. I don't think it will. I think with the new Saints Row seemingly being in its new like PR cycle of showing what the game is having to offer, also with the me being interested in the Harry Potter game, also me wanting to make a video on Deathverse. There's a new dev diary out, which I wanted to make a video about and break down. I'm kind of in the place where I was worried I was going to eventually get, which is essentially being in a place where I'm like, fuck, I want to cover these games, but they don't fit within the pattern of the one thing. But luckily, I kind of gave myself an out and said that, like, GRINN is also going to be a place of just madness, where I just test things. Now, granted, that's shifted a little bit, and now it's just going to be a place where, well, testing, sure, but we also are going to upload things that I think would be like covering RPGs, stuff like that. Again, Brothers GRINN will be on Monday. Will turn over and be a like a complete first-person looter shooter kind of game. So if you subscribe to that channel, you'll hopefully like the content that we upload there. This to me would be a way to kind of balance things out. Also, in hindsight, it's really hard to grow a streaming channel by itself because it's just streaming. But if I were to have like some sort of way to gain people's attention at a point, so if I cover RPG games that people are interested in looking up, maybe they have some turnover rate on finding our streams enjoyable and stuff like that. So that's kind of the idea there. So yeah, there's a video coming up today that I said was going to be on the Brothers GRINN channel, but it's actually going to be staying on GRINN's channel. I might make a comment about that, but hopefully people read the description. They won't. Whatever. Pain. Also, Faces, what's good? Faces says, Faith Spells got a buff finally. Oh, and Elden Ring? No shit! That's so cool! Also, Spark says Elden Ring stream at some point. Yeah, probably at some point. Yeah, absolutely. Eventually, we'll get back to Elden Ring. Granted, it's going to be hard to get back into Elden Ring because I was really in it at a certain point. But ladies and gentlemen, for those guys who want to hear what I think is my favorite song of all time, of course, it's cringe, but it's from an anime. I would also close your eyes and let it just take you, okay? But after you're letting it take you, all right, you just let it take you to whatever place it takes you. There's a video out on the channel immediately after, okay? Thank you for your time. Hope you guys enjoy this little this song. I enjoy it quite a lot. By far, it's a song that I can't help but not feel like a god after listening to it, and you'll get it if you listen to it. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you kindly for your time. Hopefully I can see you again over at Twitch tomorrow. Much love and goodbye, my friends.